I'm grooving to the soulful sounds of the Brofessionals. Welcome, everybody. Oh my goodness, what a show we're gonna have tonight. I was gonna do game show again, and I guess that's sort of expected at this point. But then someone said, Aaron, I think it was Graham, All American Graham Nolan said, Aaron, that's a lot of work, man. Maybe we should do something different this time just to give you a break. And I thought, well, what should we do? And Graham said, food would be a good thing. He said, you always do snacks on your Sunday show. Let's do food. And I said, oh my gosh, you are preaching to the choir, brother. So tonight's our foodie show. We're going to find out what the bros eat, and we're going to find out what you're eating. So let us know in the chat what you're munching on right now or what you're drinking. And we're going to go around and actually put a full meal together. So we're going to start with our dinner drinks, an entree of their choice, a dessert item, and then we're going to follow it up with food comic book stories. I mean, what could be better than that? So let's get rolling on this thing, and let's bring in a guy who would probably eat just about everything or anything except an American Eagle out of respect. Ladies and gentlemen, Graham Nolan. There he is.
Hello, Aaron.
Hello, Graham. Welcome. Is it a little cold in the house over there in Buffalo? You got the hat on there?
Yeah, with no hair on the head, when it gets a little damp, and today it was raining all day, I felt I had a chill. So this is how I warm up. I put this thing on, and it keeps the heat back in, just like people with hair.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here we go, right? And right. I do this to kind of cut down on the glare from the lights too. So, all right, let's bring in a guy who probably is not well known for his palate, but I'm sure he wouldn't complain about any meal put in front of him. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Andy Smith.
It's true. I wouldn't. I eat anything. Wait, almost anything.
Well, that's like the opposite of a foodie, because you're not particular about anything. Just
I'm really not,
food, brother.
I'm really not particular at all. So I just like to eat. And it was 70 degrees here today.
Well, la-di-da. Now let's bring a guy in who's he rides motorcycles, but I think his secret dream would be to host a cooking show. He is the teen sensation. He is Billy Tucci. Welcome, Billy.
How you doing?
How close were you to going to chef school instead of design school?
Not even remotely close.
No, you weren't thinking about it? Didn't have in the back of your mind?
I am a very picky eater, though. But the wife is a great cook. But well, look what I got here, if I may.
Whoa! Check that out.
Yesterday, I cut it open a little bit. Got a nice little letter from Graham, the American Eagle. Huzzah.
That's right.
Says,
thanking you for your purchase.
Dickhead.
I love my peeps.
Hey, I already got my box and read the books, man. They were awesome.
Not yet. Nice. Look at that. All these wonderful stretch goals, signed books. Nice signature, Graham. My signature is actually my mother's signature that I copied when I used to cut out at school. And dude,
hey, let's bring. Ooh, got a T-shirt too. Those are nice.
Badass. Yeah. Thank you, Graham.
Let's bring in a guy who I know loves food, because I think he almost always has the munchies. Let's welcome Dan Fraga. Boom, shall we? There,
hey, Fraga.
What an intro! I was gonna say, Aaron.
Yes,
I know you do all the cooking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not allowed, but I'm actually trained. I'm trained both in school and by my mother and grandmother about.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, man.
So you can do it. You're just not allowed to do it.
Why in the hell are you not allowed to cook?
I don't know. And to add insult to injury, whenever I make a dish, my kids will say, "Dad makes it so much better than Mom."
Ooh, that gets you in trouble right there.
I do this.
Yeah. You just answered why you're not allowed.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, let's bring in a guy who's always late, but I'll bet he's never late for dinner. Ladies and gentlemen, Art Thibert. There he is.
Oh, that was a great segue. And Dan, I blow shit up too. I was barbecuing by the poolside, and I actually had a barbecue explode on me.
Oh, you got to be kidding me!
I'm not kidding, man.
Now, was this by your fault, or did it just?
No. There must have been some gas that was collecting, and it just decided to ignite just as I was putting the lid on.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, and it goes.
Oh my!
The lid goes flying off.
Wow!
I fell into the pool, and my daughter laughed. So yeah.
Well, as long as everybody came out alive, I think that's all that matters.
Hey, Aaron, can this be the dinner bell tonight?
I think you should ring the dinner bell. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to either, in reality, in my case, because I'm actually going to do food preparation live. But in your case, we're going to start with what would you order for a drink to go with your dinner, and then you can tell us a little bit about your drink choice. Then we'll go around, and then we're going to go do an entree choice that perhaps, if you've already eaten, maybe you have a visual aid, or you can just tell us about it a little bit.
I took photos.
Okay,
and my kids heard food, and they're already waiting.
Oh, look at they're waiting for that.
Yeah, they're like, someone said,
The sharks are circling.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. And then we're going to go dessert or snack after that, and then we're each going to share a story that is comic and both food related. So something that happened over a meal, or something like that. Okay, let me just say a quick shout out to everybody that's in the chat. My goodness, we have a ton of people here. Darth Josh is here. Charlie's London from across the pond is here.
Hello.
Statistical Zero is here. Bretsky the Great is a game show night. Sorry, Bretsky, it's food night, which is, I think, even more fun.
Oh, look at this. Thank you.
Right on.
Oh, holy crap. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at that. That is like restaurant quality.
I was going to say that is restaurant quality.
Oh my
Billy,
God.
you are a two-fisted manly man to have your woman bring you food.
Oh my gosh.
Wine too. She brought me wine.
That is going to be I want to hear about that.
Hey,
well,
let's get this tonight.
Well,
let's get this
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. Billy's got green on his plate.
Yeah, well,
hey, he's going to be reminded later what he ate.
Hey, I got my my blood pressure. I went to the doctor today, and I had my blood pressure checked, and I was 120/80.
Perfect.
Wow.
Good.
Then yes, that's excellent.
Usually, and
hey,
I'm
Charlie's London.
Because I get nervous when I go to the doctors anyway.
Charlie's London says that she's being half Turkish. She's a total foodie, so she's
yes, it is Arbon.
All right, so let's start going around here.
Oh my God, so good.
Because I know Billy's wants to eat that while it's warm. So Graham, tell us, what would you order for a drink, or what would you have for a drink with dinner?
To eat with dinner or before dinner? If
Either or. We'll let you play the game the way you want to.
Oh, well, I'm prepared to share what I drink with dinner, but if it's before dinner, I'll usually have a bourbon.
Okay, but what are you sharing with us tonight?
A nice Cabernet.
Nice. Now, is the year important on that?
No.
Okay.
It just, for me, you know what's important? Where the vintner is, and if it's in Napa Valley, California, it's going to be great.
Okay.
But wait a minute. Aaron said this was a game. So is there a winner and a loser? Like, are we rating our dinners?
Well, it depends on. We'll see. I'll be the judge of that.
It's just a game, Art.
That's right. Hey, Jeremiah J drops in $5. Thank you so much. Happy Thursday, all. We appreciate that very much, man. And Statistical Zero dropping a big 20. That is a huge amount of money.
Oh, stat, nice.
Went through Power Cubed and Fantastical Creatures Field Guide and had a blast. Here's a royalty payment. Hey, thank you so much, because that'll be my first one. Thank you so much.
Aaron, just to say, he would never have gotten that Fantastical Field Guide if it wasn't for me pimping it.
I know.
So I'll make the next live stream I do, you need to kick me a couple bucks as a super chat for my commission.
I might just have to do that. But first, Andy, I want to know what you're drinking.
Okay, so at home, I usually just drink water and mix it up with some fruit stuff, or not fruit stuff, but flavored stuff. But when I go to a restaurant, if I'm doing a non-alcoholic drink, it's an Arnold Palmer. If I'm doing alcohol, I would do beer because I'm a beer guy. So I usually try to look at the list and get something local, from a local brewery. So obviously here in Charlotte, we have tons of local breweries. So that's easy to do. And then honestly, every city you go to now, major city, always has something local. So I'll go for a local IPA or something like that when I go out.
Excellent.
So that's the general gist. I'm not a wine guy. I've tried. Everybody's like, no, you just got to find the right kind. I've not found it yet. I've tried lots of wine, and I don't know, something about it. So,
Well,
you know what,
past
Aaron?
Pastor
I
Dan
have-
says beer is like slow suicide. So there you go.
Aaron, I have
Yes.
to throw a caveat in because, the pairing of your drink with your meal is very important. So it depends on what I'm eating. I said wine because typically at a nice restaurant, I'm having something to pair with wine. But there's a lot of places I'll go and I'm like Andy, I'll pick a local craft beer.
Yeah.
Like if I'm having a burger or something like that, sandwich, I'm going craft beer. I'm not having wine with that,
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right, Billy, what do you got for us there before you eat all your dinner? Give us what are you
I
drinking?
got to eat this. All right, so to start off with, I'll always have a single malt, depending what it is. It's a wide range of them. Depends, really, believe it or not, depends on time of year it is. That's my pre-drink dinner, so it depends if I want a more peaty scotch, a more smokier scotch. I always start off with a scotch. Right now, I'm drinking a nice Pinot Noir that me and Graham Nolan shared.
How about that?
In Connecticut at the Terrific Con when we went out to a fantastic dinner, manly dinner, twice actually.
So
And,
is that a good choice? You're having beef, I see, with your. That's a good choice.
I'm
with
having venison
red
actually.
meat.
I'm having venison.
Oh, did you
So-
kill
is
it?
it one that you
Oh,
took
yeah,
down?
Yeah, I killed this guy.
Oh my gosh! Look at that, man. That's the ultimate.
Yeah,
That's
that's what
great.
I like. So I'm like, can you make? She's like, what do you want? I'm like, can you make me venison? She's like, yeah, of course.
Wow.
But,
I
we're
hate
not
something
talking
I
about the
killed
food
to be
yet,
a
we're talking about the
squirrel I
drinks.
ran over.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
I
Fragga
prefer
boom.
a-
Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, again, I'm a red wine guy. I probably drink 100 bottles of wine a year, I'd say. It's I just love it. I love red wine. Particularly with food, though, I prefer a Pinot Noir. I love a Cabernet, but just Pinot or a Chianti just goes, with food. To me,
There you go. Well,
I
Fragga
like a
boom.
Chianti with
What are you
Italian.
drinking?
Well, I'm gonna have to echo both Billy.
exactly, Graham.
I'm gonna echo Billy and Graham, and I'm gonna go in reverse order like Christopher Nolan would. I'm a red wine guy myself. I like the lighter, more flavorful wines, not so deep tannous wines. So I'll go with the Pinots and Chiantis. Tonight, you'll see what I had for dinner. Very similar to Billy's without the venison. I'm drinking a very fine red wine called Card Bordeaux. It came out of a box. And
With a
Those are the
ticket.
very best kind.
yeah, I could drink it in high volume, but going back to echo what Graham is saying, I very much pair my beverages. If I'm having what I had tonight, it's steak. If I'm having pizza, it's got to be beer. If I'm having Japanese or Chinese food, it's got to be beer. If it's a burger, it's got to be beer. If it's a pork chop, whiskey. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Like I
look at
just
So you got this down to a science. You
I
got
got
this
it down to
drinking
my
down to-
science. This is
Well,
my truth, as a Wokey
Whatever
would
works
say.
for you, dude. Whatever
Yeah.
works for you.
What about you, Art?
Yeah, well, I just want to share the screen. This
Well,
is
no, wait a minute. Don't show us your food
Shit.
yet.
Oh,
It's damn it, Art.
What are you drinking?
Yeah.
What are you
Oh,
drinking?
that was so Billy.
Jeez.
well, Billy showed his, so I thought.
Well, my
Well,
wife brought it to me. What am I
You're
going
such a late eater,
so did my
Billy.
wife. My wife just brought it to me.
okay. What are you drinking?
Yeah. Like I'm kind of like Andy. So beer. So definitely lunchtime. Sandwiches, things like that. Burgers, beer. Go to an Italian restaurant. Like pizzeria. I'll have a beer. And then since I've moved to Texas, there's a lot of great local craft beers and things like that. So I usually go with whatever the local flavor is here. So it's usually a beer. So I'm not really a wine guy. My brother was a big wine guy. He tried to get me into it. I'm not really a wine guy. Like I like whiskey. I
gotta
go
turn
out.
like
I'll drink
this.
whiskey.
I got to
What's
do
up?
an inquisition, Art. 9 times out of 10, when I've seen you drink on streams, it's vodka.
Yeah. Well, that's what I drink around. That's my nightcap. Vodka is my
okay,
nightcap. Yeah.
Okay, so that- So you're not drinking vodka with your meal. You're drinking it. Okay. All right. Why would you do that?
Just to
Okay.
drink. Yeah, that would be it. And then I'll have a whiskey at times when I go out.
Sadly, boys, I'm allergic to beer.
Oh,
Are you
God.
really?
Yeah, I mean, I drink it. I love it, but I'm up snorting. I get this post-nasal drip all night. It's just, I think it's the hops. I'm alert because I can drink scotch,
Yeah.
but it's the hops in the beer, and it just kills me at night.
Damn.
Well, you know what? You're probably
Do you
better
have a
off.
grain? Do you have like a celiac or a grain allergy?
Yeah, I think so. I think I might be allergic to gluten and dairy too. It's just
Okay, well then
Oh,
that's it
horrible.
because it's the malt in the beer, not the hops.
it's a mall. Okay, that's
Yeah.
what it is then.
Yeah,
Suck.
Shelly
Well,
gets
yeah,
all
it's the
flushed
grains.
sometimes when she has beer. She'll get like flushed in her cheeks and get kind of itchy in the face.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but occasionally she does with her beer. So
Well,
Now,
you know
what
what? You're
about
better. You're
Ron?
better off, Billy, because it just adds calories, man. Beer.
that's right.
Yeah, well, that's like I said. That's why I think my blood pressure went down. That and my wife's business, her health and wellness business, what I've been doing, and strong lifting, Graham. You know, I think I'm much better off without the beer.
There you
But at
go.
conventions, I'll be drinking beer because
It's
if she's
delicious,
not with
man.
me, especially.
It's
Is that-
Hey,
delicious.
Charlie's London sent me 10 pounds. Thank you so much, Charlie. Really appreciate that. Did you
You're
guys
welcome.
know IPA stands for India Pale
Yes.
Ale and
Yes.
came from England?
No.
Legend has it that the beer was made with enough hops to keep it for the long trek from UK all the way to India. Hail the Empire. Dropping
Wow,
knowledge
look at that,
on us. How
Graham,
about
right?
that?
Well, I'm happy.
She's
for it.
absolutely
That's,
right.
I knew
That's,
Graham
uh,
would know that.
That's
All right.
my favorite. That's my
So
favorite.
you're drinking wine tonight though, Art.
My wife just brought me up one.
Okay.
Yeah. So
All
I'll
right.
have it with my Italian. Yeah.
Tally ho,
Okay.
Charlie's.
All right.
Tally ho, Charlie's.
Tally ho, Charlie's.
Tally-ho, tally-ho.
Well,
Now, as
Tally-ho.
you guys know, I am not a drinker. I'm like a lot like Andy. I'll drink water all the time. But if I'm at a bar or a sports bar or something like that, or a dinner, if I'm driving, I'm not going to touch alcohol, but I will have a kombucha. And what I got here was a raspberry kombucha right there, baby. It's like raspberry beer, except it's not. I know.
My wife
It's-
used to make kombucha.
There's some really ugly thing that they have to like.
It's called a SCOBY.
Yeah.
It's called a SCOBY, and it's like a big jellyfish.
Yeah.
And it eats sugar and fruit. And
Oh.
it
Wait, is that alcohol?
creates,
There's a
small
little bit in
amount
here, but it's below the legal limit, so it's not considered alcoholic, but it does kind of taste like it. So
Hey, Aaron, you being
It's raspberry.
such a
It's raspberry mouthwash.
basically, yeah, for a real man like Graham, he he just rinses his mouth out with it and then spits it out.
Fantastic for gut health, though. It's
Graham,
a probiotic. It's really good for your
Hey.
digestion.
Now, you guys,
Aaron.
I want to hang on a second, Billy. I want to bounce around real quickly because since Art and Billy actually have their food, and the rest of you guys just have pictures, right? Or just
Yeah,
stories.
I brought pictures.
So let's go to Billy to share what he's eating for his entree. Then we'll go to Art, and then we'll go back in order and get the rest of you
Yeah,
guys.
before it's
Yeah,
gone,
okay.
Billy's
Okay.
working.
Billy, talk about your. Okay, so you got venison. You said.
You gotta
What
make
else
it
do you
full
have?
screen.
This
You gotta
is
make
the
that full screen, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
hang on a
full
second.
screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, show it up.
Right,
This is
get it
the
up there.
venison tenderloin. The back, I ate half of it because I'm a carnivore.
Look at that pilaf.
Yeah,
Mm,
and with a brown rice, with a brown wild rice, with asparagus, which I love asparagus. And again, the brown wild rice. And this is done in a. It looks like they're great. I don't know why I forget. Cherries are great. It's cherries, I think. It's a cherry marinade that I hunted in New Mexico one time, and we were in a line shack, this shithole line shack. And our chef, though, believe it or not, the outfitter had a chef there, and he was from New York City, and this is what he made in his restaurant and gave us the recipe. And it was just fantastic. So this is a deer I shot. This is my buck I shot on November 21st. Nice big buck. Came in about 15 yards. I had a doe and her fawn there still. The doe, believe it or not, was still with her fawn at this late of the date. He came in, pushed her. She wasn't ready to go into estrus just yet, or she was starting to go into it. Pushed her out, and he came right in, and I drew. I'm a bow hunter. Drew on him and drilled him at 15 yards, smashed him with the arrow, went quartering away. He jumped, ran about 70 yards, and just piled up and just laid down. That's one of the things why I love bow hunting, because you have to bring them in close.
How does his
also,
pain taste?
What?
How does his pain taste?
His pain tastes fucking great, dude. Oh my God.
I'm fucking with you, bro.
Hey, Aaron, yeah, that's why
I bet
God
it's
gave us-
delicious.
That's why we have these, see?
Yeah, that's exactly.
We got these, and then these are canines to rip that
Crush
meat
that
apart.
meat.
But
Hang on a second here. I'm getting a little bit of crap in the chat. I have to take care of this. Excuse me just one second. This is for Jackie.
No.
That's what you
I'm
get.
with Jackie. I'm
That's
with
what
Jackie.
you
I
get
thought you were
when you
gonna bring
start
out.
coming after me.
I thought you were gonna bring out some birch beer or some shit.
No,
Anyway, so my wife,
Or root beer.
Well, you know what? Sarsaparilla is delicious. So.
It
it is.
No
Oh, wait a
document.
minute. Here it is, right there. Aaron drinks with a napkin. You know what? You know what else I drink with? I drink with one of these. There we go. All right.
so
All right.
so my wife prepares us, so we do everything with the deer. We got a new puppy, which I'd like to introduce you guys to Asha, our new puppy. If you don't
Asha.
mind a little bit, I'll bring her up here.
Yeah, that dog is so cute.
Oh, she's adorable, but but so basically what Deborah and I do is that we keep the back straps and tenderloin, and everything else gets ground up for the dog. Because I kill 5-6 deer a year. So
Savage.
it's just
savage.
You're a caveman.
we have there's an overpopulation of them. I love bow hunting. I love the challenge of it. I love being out in the woods. We all have our cathedrals. To me, there's nothing better than sitting in the woods, up in a tree, 20 feet up in a tree stand, and watching the sunrise and the whole world come awake. And you're in.
You know what? You know what would be awesome is to see Billy out there in a loincloth with Ted Nugent, just
Oh my gosh, going crazy out there.
riding on the
I got
back
my
of
camouflage on, like
Hey,
Deadlock
you know what? You know
That's
what
a
you're
type of-
celebrating, Billy, as you sit in that tree and you go, God, this is fucking living. I can't wait. This is the last moment for that thing. Living. Booyah! No, dude, it's tasty.
Dude, I'm from Long Island, New York, man.
Dude,
Top of the food chain, bro.
I'm still.
Hey, let me drop a little.
Hey, I come to your survival camp bringing food. Okay.
Then you're welcome in the camp.
There we go.
Billy, what's your vegetable again?
My vegetable is asparagus.
Okay, let me drop a little asparagus knowledge on you guys. If you grill asparagus, soak it in either lemon juice or orange juice.
Yes.
Not a ton, but a little bit, because the acid from the juice will keep it from drying out if you grill it. So that's just a little.
Does it keep your piss from being funky?
That's why I
no.
call them. That's why I call them oh yes. My nickname for asparagus is oh yeah, because I go, what the fuck is that smell? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Matt Hepp giving us $10. Thank you so much, Matt. He says, "What's the Professionals' favorite sci-fi novel cover artists?" We'll get to that in a minute. I like Jack.
Well, that's a disconnect.
Gahan, I know, and Ed Valgulerski. I know
I like the
there's more, but I want to
Hamburglar.
hear about a cream of the crop. Also, hail all. Thank you, Matt. I'm going to write that down, and we'll revisit that in a little while. But Art, tell us what you're eating.
All right. Well, here it is, man. This is spaghetti from my wife, and she got the
Aaron, can you make him big?
the formula.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was writing down that note so I didn't forget it. Where are you, Art? Oops. Wrong button. There you go.
Oh my God, that looks so good. That looks like Little Rascals food, man. When they ate all that spaghetti.
What do you got?
Yeah.
Cheese on there? What do you got on there?
Yeah. There's a little bit of cheese. I wish I could lean it more, or because it will just slip off the
What kind
plate.
of cheese?
Is the
Not
spaghetti
Parmesan?
sitting on top of the sauce?
What kind of
Not
cheese is
Parmesan?
that?
The sauce is on the bottom, then the pasta, and then there's some cheese on it. Yeah,
Oh,
it's really good. And my wife got she got it all, like the ideas and stuff, from her mother. So her mother was a great cook, and so this is a family recipe. And so whenever we entertain, whenever we have people over, she always makes the pasta. There's a huge bowl of it, and it's always a success. And she always makes more sauce than we need, so
right.
we end up eating it for days after.
Yes.
And there's I don't know what there is about like Italian food. Like the sauces always age well. Like it almost tastes better the next time you eat it. So this is already she made this a couple days ago or a week or so ago. So this is aged Pamela spaghetti sauce. And oh my gosh, it's so pretty good. I can't wait to get in here.
How about that?
And,
Delicioso.
Shout outs to all the
she brought
moms.
some wet red wine.
Shout outs to all the moms and all the dudes that made them moms.
That's right. There you go. All right.
Hey, if I can give a shout out too, because when we entertain, a lot of times we do it in the wintertime, because I have an old Victorian I'd love for you guys to come. Anytime you're up in New York, you guys please stay over. So we have in the dining room, my wife will prepare this sort of meal, like a venison, for a lot of our friends who don't hunt and all. And we'll light the fire, and the men sit by the fire. We drink our bourbon. The women will be in the parlor drinking wine and stuff. And we do the same thing, Art. And it's usually she breaks out something like this, because how often does one have venison? And
right. And you know what? If I caught it and I brought it home and cleaned the meat and everything, I sure as hell would be sharing that with the world too, man. I'd be having everybody over and go, "Hey, taste this, man."
It's a great
taste this.
Dahmer.
So, Graham, I got a picture here I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
Of
People
your
think
entree.
they're carnivores, but they're not carnivores. until
Okay,
they eat.
Graham's gonna lay down the gauntlet here. Here we go.
There it
What
is.
are we looking at here?
That is a
Oh my
ribeye.
lord!
Oh my
yeah.
God,
That's good.
Mm,
That's a bone-in ribeye, my friends.
man!
Oh
You
my
just
goodness.
got that
What
from
else
cowboy
do you
cut.
usually get?
That's
They
just
call
a
that the
stock
cowboy
photo
cut.
from the internet.
Yeah.
Now,
I
is
know
this
that.
is this a when you get ribeye? Is it only a restaurant type thing, or do you actually buy ribeyes at the store and actually have them at home?
I buy them from a butcher.
Do you
and bring 'em
really?
home. Oh,
Go
yeah.
right to the source. All right.
What a
Oh yeah,
champion.
and I cook it. I usually I heat a cast iron griddle till it or pan until it's smoking. Then
Yeah.
I salt and pepper the ribeye, and I crust it in the cast iron, and then I finish it off under the broiler. And,
Nice.
and then I put like a butter on top of it like this that is infused with garlic, and it's freaking killer.
Oh my God! What do you
Now,
do
how do
with
you
that,
cook your steak? How do you cook your steak? How do you like it?
Medium rare to medium.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have some
That's the
pink in
only
there,
way.
man.
That's the only
Oh,
way
yeah.
to have it.
Medium
Mhm.
rare, baby.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and the beauty about the ribeye is all the fat on it. It's got this soft fat that just
Yeah, a lot of
melts
flavor.
in your mouth. All
Flavor
that
country
flavor is so
is
great.
the nickname of the fat. It's flavor country.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Graham, what do you drink with that?
I red wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, almost always a Cabernet.
Oh my God!
Do
that
you
was so good.
do you fix any sort of? I would assume you fix some sort of vegetable to go along with that, or you just eat the meat
Vegetable.
and
Oh,
say
you see
screw.
see that parsley?
That's
a
it, huh?
vegetable.
That's it.
Actually, to be honest, I love vegetables. I love spinach. I love broccoli. I love asparagus. But sometimes that stuff gets in the way of the steak. Like if I'm going to have a big,
Gets in the
I'm
way.
eating that whole thing. I'm eating that whole thing. I'm not cutting that up. And
Hey, you need Stanley Steamer to come behind there to push it out, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well,
No,
if
that's-
you lower your carbs, it comes right out.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's right.
That's a nice piece of meat right there.
there it is.
Oh my goodness. Okay, Andy. So give us
All right, I'll
some.
share my screen, but before you pull it up, don't pull it up till I tell you to. Put it
Okay,
down.
well, I'm not seeing it yet.
No, I just did.
Okay,
it.
there it is. All right. Okay.
So I didn't want to go the tip because the funny thing is when you suggested this as the topic a few days ago, I did put a lot of thought into it, and I didn't want to go with favorite food and stuff like that because like I love pizza. I can eat pizza anytime. So I thought, well, when we go to it, there's a nice restaurant in town down the road. It's a place we'll go to on like New Year's and anniversary stuff called Red Rocks. And I usually get the same things. We only go like once or twice a year. And now you can share the screen. And I didn't want to go steak either because I knew a few guys would. I love lobster ravioli. A nice lobster ravioli.
That's good stuff, man.
Yes.
I love me some lobster ravioli. And not much, the thing is, besides like maybe a breadstick, it's pretty much just boom, the lobster ravioli. Like Graham was saying, you go to a restaurant, you order a steak. It's like, oh, what do you want on the side? Blah, blah, blah. Nope. Just lobster ravioli at this restaurant. Does well. Get a nice beer, like I said. Something from a local brewery. Old Mecklenburg is a brewery. Birdsong Brewery. We've got so many breweries. So, I went a little different. I knew so. If I went steak, I like a good prime rib. I also like a nice fillet. I like steak, but I want to try and break it up. So I had a few of us would be going there. So
Hey, lobster ravioli. That's almost pretentious. I mean, I like it. I think that's
it is, right? I can be that way.
Yeah, I always knew that about you.
I know.
Fraga, boom. What are you eating, my man?
This is I took this picture
Let's see. Where are
today.
you?
This was my dinner at 6:00.
There it is. Okay.
This is a photo I took. It's not from the
Ooh.
internet.
Oh my God!
I
Nice.
too had a ribeye, baked potato with a little bit of sour cream, some asparagus.
On a paper plate.
Yeah,
too.
we don't do dishes in my house. You know,
Just throw them away, huh?
no, we
Eat
have
the-
a house. No, my kids are so savage with their use of bowls and plates. We shifted over. I still like when I make myself lunch. I go civilized. But yeah, this is. I could have got my sweet good plates out. But this was dinner tonight. Still got my wine. This is probably glass number 4.
No,
Probably
are
got
you
about a bottle in. But.
are you gonna butter that potato? A little salt and pepper, or
here's-
just cream, or just sour cream?
No, the butter is underneath because if you put butter on
Right.
top of sour cream
Sure.
is cold and the butter doesn't melt. So I put
Right.
the butter on the hot spot so it
Yep.
sits in, and then
But no seasoning, no salt or pepper. You just go with that.
usually if I do it, I took this picture quite quickly.
Mhm.
My seasoning of choice on anything that's not a dessert is Mrs. Dash Table Blend. That thing is a miracle worker.
Mm.
It's got the green lid, the dark forest green lid. If anybody wants to know, I put that. I literally, it's on eggs, it's on noodles.
I put it on
stir-fry.
eggs too. Yeah.
Yeah,
But you know
that's
what?
my
Like
go-to.
chives and green onions, like chopped green onions,
Mm.
are really
Mhm.
good.
I asked my wife too. I said, "Where are the onions?" And she had bought some like a week and a half ago, and they don't keep very well. Even
Yeah.
if you put them in the crisper, they last maybe
Yeah.
3 or 4 days, and they were
Yeah.
very sad looking, so they didn't make it.
Well,
Now,
you're like most
you-
parents, like your kids don't eat onions, so only
Yeah.
the adults eat onions.
It's
so
it's
they don't-
ridiculous. Like
yeah, they go
Sammy,
bad, yeah.
our 3-year-old, she's 3 now. She turned 3 last night, and
Oh, happy birthday.
she said she
Happy
wanted
birthday, yeah. Nice.
the way she says noodles is Wuddles. She said, "I want Wuddles, rice, and chicken." So we took her to a hibachi place, and they, I don't know, every place is different. This is Macon, Georgia, so it definitely was not very reason for what I would call delightful, but it was still fun, But my kids, anyway, what I was gonna say is like my kids will say some shit like, "I want stir fried rice," and then my wife has to say, "Before you put the vegetables in," it's because I don't know. I'm not as lenient as my wife is. She always calls me good cop, but I'm like, I'm bad cop. When it comes to food, I'm bad cop. I'm like, eat your vegetables. Broccoli is good. Zucchini is good.
It's good for you.
Well, here's the thing, man.
Go ahead.
What's up? No, I was gonna say I was raised poor, so we had a lot of things like stew that would last 4 or 5 days. I am not one of those people that is afraid of liver and onions. In fact, every now and then I crave it, which is a very weird thing to say because it's supposed to be disgusting.
It is.
Yeah. No, I know. It's I know. I love things like sauerkraut and like poor people food. Because
poor people
it's
is great.
Yeah, no, it's what I know and it's what I grew up on. But like my mom, who got it from her grandmother, they were very industrious in how they cooked, and they had a way, and they brought out what the Latins call mucho sabor, very much flavor. They knew how to do it. My mom, her secret weapon, which I don't use myself, my secret weapon is butter. But her secret weapon was something called Maggie. You probably know it, Aaron. It comes in a little yellow bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she used Maggie.
Are you a guy that when you're cooking a steak? I mean, Graham pointed out that he likes to cook his in a iron skillet. Are you a skillet and a broiler, or are you a grill only?
I'm what I feel like. Those are two different things because
true.
I like my steaks bloody. And my wife is a well done. She's the opposite end of the spectrum. Whenever I see her order a filet,
that's horrible.
Yeah, when she says filet, well done, I go, oh God,
You're ruining it.
Why?
Get yourself a New York strip and do the same thing because it's going to taste the same. If I'm gonna do a ribeye, I want to taste that fat, so I'm gonna broil it. I'm gonna do what Graham does, sear and broil. If it's like a New York or something like that, it's going on the barbecue.
Yeah.
If it's something like you know what a tri-tip is? You're a West Coast guy, so a tri-tip that goes in the oven, covered, slow, low.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, that's almost like a barbecue staple. The tri-tip.
It is, but dude, broil a tri-tip with garlic and those sort of things like you would a turkey, and that's a whole new world.
Excellent. I don't know what happened to Billy.
I'm here. Hang on.
He's here. He killed his camera.
Okay.
It's a weird
I think
thing.
he got his dog.
There it is. All right.
I was
Okay.
noticing that. Watch this.
My dessert.
He was loading up. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna hide myself, but look you can hear me, but I'm not here. You can hear me. I'm not here. See what
It's
I'm
like
saying?
the ghost of Fraga Boom.
It's new. It's new and hot.
Why is that?
New
That
hot
when
now.
you stop your cam, we disappear.
It's new. StreamYard must have done something.
That's
See,
what
look at
Really?
I'm here.
Wow.
You're here. We're both here, but we're not here.
Oh, it's tripping me out, man.
Anybody that's high right now, we're fine. Yeah.
Hey, Charlie's London threw me another 5 pounds. Thank you, Charlie, so much. Sauerkraut with frankfurters, boiled potatoes with Maggie and white wine. Cook slow for 4 hours.
That's it.
Have
That's
the farmer bread. Gorgeous, she
That's
said.
it.
How about
That's
that?
it. See, my mother's father came from Holland, and my mother's mother came from England, and their cooking skills translated down. My dad's side is Portuguese, but what she's talking about is very European, and every word she said about it being gorgeous, yes.
Yeah, get
we're
Andy,
you guys
Andy just said in the chat, like in the private, just let him in.
Who is?
Andy Smith.
Andy.
Put me back in, he says.
Put
please
me back in.
do it.
Okay, there
Put
he
me
is.
back
All right.
in.
Thank you.
Okay, old dirty fatty is having a real hard time with this. He says, I'm sitting in a hospital with my elderly mom and I can't break away to eat, so this is very distracting.
We're
He's
very sorry. Imagine we're talking about something other than food. Like
That's right. But I'm going to make it worse. Guys, I'm going to make it worse because I'm going to actually make something right now. Okay, so here's my story. I'm going to switch cameras here.
Let's see it.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if you can do it.
Yes.
Oh, he did it.
Here's what's going to be weird. Why do I see female hands now?
Yeah, no. Okay.
You do your nails, Aaron? That's weird.
No. One of the things that I always have done when I go to different cities, you travel around, do cons and stuff or whatever, is I always look to see if I can find the best Reuben sandwich.
I had one of those yesterday.
My wife loves Reubens.
And if you can find a good one
on sourdough. I want mine on sourdough. I know it's a sin. I don't like red bread.
So it's like the
Marble
marble
and dressing on it.
Now, hang on a second now. I almost bought dill rye because I love dill rye bread for any, almost any sandwich. But
That's
I thought
a different thing. Yeah.
I didn't want the extra flavor of the dill getting in the
Full
way.
screen it, Aaron. Full screen your. Man.
Yeah, nobody needs to see us. They can hear us while you're full screen.
Yeah, make it.
That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
he's got a sauerkraut. He's got.
I got Swiss cheese here. Right now, this is Tillamook,
yes.
which is a local place here in by the coast in Oregon, but it makes some of the best cheese in the country. So
in the world, Tillamook
highly recommend
extra
it.
sharp cheddar is the shit.
Yeah, I'm using dark rye here from Oro Wheat.
All right.
And here's the key, gentlemen. You'll see a lot of these places will put pastrami on there, and that is not right. It is a corned beef sandwich.
Corned beef, your corned beef, right?
You do not put pastrami on a Reuben. You can have a pastrami sandwich with Swiss and some mustard. It's wonderful. But
hey, don't feel weird, but I'm watching your meat stacking skills.
Well, I'm not going to put on as much as I might if I was like in a New York deli. But
you're not doing the little roll thing where you can save space.
Yeah, you're laying it flat. You got to roll it so that you get more depth.
That's correct. And the heat swirls around in the hollow.
I just make it so it fits on there. That's enough for now. I'm not going to put anything on here yet until I grill it and get that cheese melted. Then I'm going to go on and put the sauce on and the sauerkraut.
Is that a panini maker?
It's a panini right here, baby.
Yeah,
Panini
sauerkraut. Tell me this, because I had a discussion with the lady at the deli yesterday because I ordered a Reuben on sourdough, and they forgot to put the sauerkraut, and they said, oh, sorry, and they gave it to me on the side, and the sauerkraut was ice cold, and I said, this needs to be room temperature at its coldest, and they were like, what are you talking about?
Absolutely.
Hey,
This is room temperature. I just got some Steinfeld's sauerkraut, home style sauerkraut.
Yes.
Again, you can't really emulate what you would get at, like, say, a real deli or someplace that
Well, this place is called
But you do the best you
McAllister's
can.
Deli. Yeah,
What's that?
I'm in Georgia. What do you want to do?
Yeah, exactly. And so, and the key for me is always the Thousand Island dressing or the sauce that they put on it. Now, of course, I'm just going to have to go with Kraft Thousand Island, but that to me is what makes the sandwich. And one of the best, probably the best Reuben sandwich I ever had was here in Portland, Oregon, which is at a place called the Buffalo Gap.
No,
And which is shocking to me that it would be in Portland, Oregon.
yeah,
Although
right.
Portland's become kind of a foodie town.
Cantors.
But it's
Aaron, you're an LA guy. Come on, you lived in LA. When I say
did, but
Cantors on Fairfax.
I know where Fairfax is. I'm trying to think of.
Oh, dude, Cantors has been around. It's Eddie Cantors, the comedian.
They
It's
sell
Eddie
that.
Cantors' place. Yeah,
They sell that Tillamook
Tillamook.
at
Tillamook.
the local store over here.
Yeah, Tillamook is nation, man. They're massive.
okay.
I always like to do
Burn
that.
your
Kind of,
fingers.
flip it and get kind of cross grill marks just for recreational purposes.
Aaron, if the sauerkraut is refrigerated, do you put that on the sandwich when you heat it so it can warm up, or do you put it on cold?
No, well, what I do is drain. If I put it on the grill, I will. You can do two things. You can put it in like a nice cast iron pan, would be nice, and warm it up real quick like that. I don't like to microwave it. Or if I drain it really, really well, then I will put it on the sandwich and heat it during the second stage of the heating.
Yeah, man.
Aaron, I like this setup. This will save you so much time when you're working. You won't have to go downstairs.
I know. If I just had a bathroom in here, I would be set.
Yo,
course,
I said the
All
same
you need is a
thing.
bucket. You're a dude.
I said the same thing to my wife because in this new house, I'm in the basement. I said if I put the mini fridge, the microwave, and a few changes of clothes down here, I'd be set because there's a bathroom already.
Oh yeah.
I could live.
Well,
I thought
you could be
that's
like,
what the sump pump was for.
yeah, you
Well,
could
that's
be like,
that's why
Dale
she
Keown.
moved the mini fridge and the microwave down here. It was weird.
You could be like Dale Keown and pee in a beer bottle, which he did when I was interviewing him because he didn't want to leave. He
Yes.
said he was.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have
That's
that kind of
badass.
stay power.
You know?
That's called stay power. That's a generous
All right.
amount of mustard. And I have to tell you, Aaron, I worked at Burger King.
That is not mustard, my friend.
That's
That's
Thousand
Oh,
Thousand
Island.
sorry.
Island,
The 1,000. When I worked at Burger King in 1987, that's what you do. You do a little swirl. You don't.
Well,
you don't.
I like a
don't
lot of
slap it.
sauce, and in the same way with pizza, I think the pizza sauce is what makes the pizza, right?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
That's why on the big chains, Papa John's has the best sauce. And I'm not saying that as like it's gospel, but as far as if you're gonna do Pizza Hut, Round Table, Domino's, or Papa John's sauce is why it wins.
Do I think the
I don't know, man. I like little Caesars.
Look at that, baby.
Nice.
There it is.
Nice.
So I made food live.
Wow.
I want to see you mukbang that shit though, brother.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna,
they got to dive in.
Mukbang it.
dude. I'm gonna
mukbang
eat it. I'm gonna eat
That's
it.
what I'm
bro.
talking about.
Right, here, right now.
Just a thought. Next time, get a cast iron grill, put butter in there, and toast your sandwich in that. It'll crisp up the butter on the bread. It'll crisp it up. Won't be as
He's got
dry.
to
Very
do
nice.
it from his laptop then,
Yep.
because I mean, imagine him bringing some fire into his studio.
Well, last week Graham made the joke about boiling a lobster live on I was kind of hoping he'd go for it, but we started setting up. We're in like this paper factory, and we're setting up a fire hazard, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
There goes your backlog.
How is that, Reuben? I bet it's good.
Love it. Love it. All right.
That
So-
was the thinnest Reuben I've ever seen in my life. Just
Right?
saying.
He had to be economical with our runtime, man. Come on.
Yeah, I didn't want to get too crazy,
But
but
a half pound of meat on that sucker.
oh yeah, I know. Boy, have you guys been to? Is it Katz Deli
Yeah.
in New York?
Yeah.
Holy
I've been there
crap.
yet. I don't think it's there anymore. They get closed down.
I
Did
think
they
it
really? They
Really?
wouldn't take a card. They only took cash last time I was there. It was probably 5 years ago now, but
They
Yeah.
had
man,
to
I got a
start taking
pastrami
cards
and
in COVID,
twist. Holy crap, it was like that high. Anyway, Graham, tell us,
Yes, sir.
as a snack or a dessert item, what's your go-to?
Well, I'm not a sweets guy, but
Do you want me
if
to bring
I'm
the
gonna-
picture up yet?
I do have a picture up. If I'm going to have a dessert after a meal, this is what I want: apple pie.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like my. If I'm out at a restaurant, actually, you know what? I really don't like it so much at a restaurant. I like when my wife makes it because I like my apple pie cold. I don't want
No,
it.
I do too.
Oh,
I do too.
Yeah.
oh
like-
really? I like it
Yeah,
heated up with some caramel sauce on top.
Hey,
Yeah,
dude,
bro.
okay,
And
you
with
guys-
ice cream there.
You guys, tell me
Cold-
about this.
Cold pie with cold ice cream.
I've never once seen somebody eat it this way, but I've heard it's like the way, like a slice of cheddar cheese. Is
Yeah,
that
I do that.
That's a thing.
Are
Okay.
you kidding me? Why would you ruin pie like that?
Now, hang on a second. Are you
No.
telling me you melt cheese over the top of it?
No,
or is
no,
it
no,
like-
no. You take a slice of cheddar cheese, so you've got that dry bitterness. Then you've
Mhm.
got the sweet gooey of the pie. You take a bite of that, then you take a bite of the cheese. It's a marriage, boy.
And then you take a sip
Wow.
of the
I've
brandy.
never done that.
That's bullshit, man. I
Well,
call
it's
bullshit.
kind of like eating grapes and cheese, right? Like, so
For-
it's kind of
You know, Grant,
Yeah.
for Mr. America, that does not sound very American.
No, it's super
Thank you.
American,
Thank you,
Andy. That's super
Orange.
American, man. The cheddar cheese, the
Voulez-vous
Wisconsin
français?
fine, sharp cheddar cheese
That's
with
right.
pie. It's major,
Preach it,
man.
Dan.
It's super
Preach it.
American.
Come on, remember how?
The
Remember
cheesehead.
when
I hear an
Where
eagle
Art
go.
Thou?
Wah!
Do you remember in that scene in where in Oh Brother Where Art Thou when they stole the pie from the person who cooked the pie and he put the dollar bill where he
Yes.
took it, how great that pie looked, and they were eating that nice hot pie with their fingers and stuff, and then
Oh, yeah.
I love that scene. It made me want to have pie every time I look at that. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
love
kind of
pie.
like Graham though. Like I don't like warm cookies. I don't like warm cake.
No, me
I don't-
neither.
You don't like warm cookies?
No, I like
But I
warm
have to
cookies.
say, wait,
Jesus, bump him
Hang
out of
on
here.
now. Hang on, Art. What are you saying?
wait. Okay,
Oh,
so
shit.
I do like my pie heated up, my apple pie or cherry pie or whatever it is.
What about pumpkin pie?
No,
Okay, you're okay. You're safe.
but let me.
Art, you're
explain.
okay in my book now.
Let me explain. Okay, so I like the ice cream melted with the apple pie or whatever. So I like that. So that's why I like it warmed up. So I
You
like
could
it
just pour
brutal.
cream over it.
Yeah.
Well, I like ice cream better than the whipped cream, but I like whipped cream on apple or on pumpkin pies.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's
Oh, I hate pumpkin pie.
no, Andy. That's why
Not
we're
a
on
big
the
pumpkin
opposite
pie fan
sides of
either.
each other right now because pumpkin pie is part of my family. It
Oh,
literally,
so gross.
it's literally part of my family.
Oh
It's
no,
pretty
it's
you like the
pumpkin
royalties
pie,
on that
boom.
pumpkin pie recipe there, Fragaboom?
Yeah, my grandfather on my mom's side, they own. There's a place in Northern California called Half Moon Bay. Every October they have something called the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Festival, and my grandfather and then my uncle owned a place called Half Moon Bay Bakery, and their biggest thing that they sold during the pumpkin festival were these little personal pies. And
Oh.
even as a little kid, I would go to these festivals and help them make them, and it was like in a big ass brick oven, and like, you know.
Sweet,
So,
huh? That's awesome.
so yeah, when I hear Andy say I don't like pie, I'm
No,
so
no,
glad.
I don't like pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie. I'm so glad that I love you because anybody else? No, I'm serious. Anybody else? The spirit of my mother would come out and put a smack.
Well,
Wait a minute. Look at this. Look at this. Hang on a second. Look at this. I don't know who you are anymore.
Oh,
Andy.
yes, you do.
Oh,
Andy, I'm with you, brother. I'm with you.
No,
well,
no, you guys.
so
You
That's
fucking
a
guys.
Parenting. Pumpkin pie and carrot cake. Nobody really likes that.
That's not
Carrot cake
true.
is delicious.
Dude, carrot cake and a cup of
carrot
coffee,
cake.
dude. Come on.
It's
Yeah.
like rice pudding. Who eats that?
No, I
eat
agree
rice
with
pudding.
I like
Oh.
rice pudding.
Look, it may not be my favorite, but I'll eat it. It may
Yeah.
not be my
At
favorite,
a
but I'll
good
eat it if
Greek
it's there.
restaurant, rice pudding is killer with a little cinnamon
right.
on it.
That's correct.
Oh,
But you know what? Like if you don't like pumpkin pie, then it's like saying you don't like Thanksgiving.
That's exactly. That is exactly
not
right.
true.
Apple
Because
pie.
we can
is
have
Exactly
Thanksgiving.
right.
Nope. Not
Graham,
at all.
I want to know before.
Can I start eating my dessert?
Yeah, hang on one second. I just want to ask Graham one quick question, then we'll go to you, Billy. Graham, what are you snacking on? Right now?
Peanuts.
Oh, okay. It's a healthy snack.
Man, that's nuts.
All right.
Yeah.
Billy,
I
what do you
like
got for
nuts.
dessert?
Nuts are my snack go-to.
Real quick,
Okay.
Graham, we can eat peanuts. I thought we could only eat like almonds. I thought peanuts were off. I thought like cashews are good, almonds are good.
Walnuts are the best.
Cashews are not good.
Walnuts,
Cashews
You're
not
talking about carbs?
Yeah.
Cashews got a
walnuts
lot
are
of
the
carbs.
best.
All right.
Walnuts are good for the brain.
So Percy,
Billy,
go,
what are you eating, man? Go.
we're going to pie. So I told my wife that she's got to make me dinner and make me a chocolate cream pie. My favorite is chocolate cream pie. I will literally eat at least half a chocolate cream pie on Thanksgiving or holidays. The only reason why I don't is because my sister-in-law will eat the other half. I'm a chocolate cream pie, but if not, my go-to is a nice steaming hot blueberry pie.
Oh,
My
yeah.
wife bought me from the supermarket because she wasn't going to make me even a damn blueberry pie, and I'm like,
You need to put your pinky out when you eat that thing.
"Bish, I'm making a fucking blueberry pie."
Hey, look at that dinner she made for you, though. Come on now.
Yeah, but I can't get the
This is
pie
fine.
tue, bro. But no, so she bought me
Pie's a lot of work.
this little miniature blueberry pie. I usually have a whipped cream on it. I like my pie hot. I'm not a
Yeah,
big
man.
cold pie type of guy,
Blueberry's good.
but I love blueberry pie. I love chocolate cream's my favorite. I love blueberry. I love apple. I'm with you, Andy Smith, the smartest man in the room right here, summa cum laude.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of the pumpkin pie, man. I think pumpkin
Get
pie's
out of here.
bitches and witches.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
I am
down.
now
Frag
the-
a boom. Are you
I'm gonna
kidding me?
bring
You
the
gonna take that?
motherfucking switches.
Frank
The
is
best
like,
part, and the best
move
part
me
is
to
me
another
drinking, me
position.
eating this blueberry pie and drinking this red wine. My teeth are gonna be black. You can already see that happening from the wine. You never do
Ask
that.
Pastor Dan says my mother-in-law makes the best bread pudding.
Bread
And
pudding.
I love bread pudding, but that's not where I'm going tonight. But I do love bread pudding. It's a it used to be a meal created by poor people in Europe because they could use their stale day old bread, and then the rich like confiscated it and made it like a hoity-toity dessert. But it has its very humble roots in the
What is bread pudding?
they
What is
do.
that?
Well, let's eat the rich.
eggs, bread, milk,
meat cake.
sugar.
Mm.
All right,
Yeah, bread
Fraga,
pudding's
dessert,
okay.
man. What's your go-to?
Oh, dessert. Well, I don't have any pictures because I have snack pictures.
Okay, well, give us your snack then. That's fine.
Okay, and then I'll talk about dessert. Okay, let me share. Here we go. Not exactly the correct flavor, per se. But I enjoy Doritos.
Well,
my
they're addicting.
my favorite is Cool Ranch.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wish I had a Cool Ranch. There's the chip with good old Frank in the background. But yeah, this is it. And my hands are not that big, guys. It looks like
Looks
it.
like
That's
a
the
mini
family
bag.
size bag.
It is.
That's like a Halloween bag.
No, it's Valentine's Day. My kids, I stole it.
Oh,
And they're tiny little chips too. Makes me feel manly to eat them. And we got Sammy's little fox up there, but I do enjoy Doritos Cool Ranch. When I was in Mexico, they had a flavor that you can't find anywhere in the States. We looked. It's called Salsa Verde. It's that tomatillo. It comes in a green bag. Tostitos makes their own version that is quite close, but not quite. But Doritos Cool Ranch, and then if it comes to dessert, it's very hard pressed because when it comes to cake, birthday time, I have requests. It's yellow cake with chocolate frosting. My grandmother on my dad's side, every birthday used to make a lemon meringue pie.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff.
And if a place has it, I will order it. It doesn't matter if it's a diner or a fancy place. If they got lemon meringue. But the best dessert I ever made, Aaron, this is for you, is my pot cookies. They are oatmeal pot cookies, oatmeal cranberry. And what I do is I grab the Quaker Oats recipe on the underside of their oatmeal can, and I substitute cranberries for raisins, and I substitute a special butter that I make for their butter. And ask anybody that has had one of mine. Quarter will do. They're delicious.
I challenge. I will eat the whole damn thing.
Yeah,
then.
no, you will be in space. But the thing is I use cranberries to offset the flavor of the cannabis. It gives an acidity to it that makes it just taste like a wonderful cookie.
I'll take your word for that.
One of these days, Aaron, we'll be able to show.
One of these days, you're going to sneak one in on me.
Would you like this mini cookie, Aaron?
I got one question. I got to
Whoa, hang on, Graham. What is it?
It's your birthday. Pie or cake? Go, Billy.
Cake.
Dan.
Cake.
Art.
Cake.
Andy.
Cake.
Aaron.
Pie.
Whoa.
Oh.
Aaron's the winner. He's right. The rest of you are wrong. They have to leave. And we will see you again, my friends.
All right, you guys.
Graham, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
How come Fraga left and Graham stayed?
Fraga's high.
Bald telepathy.
Hey, Son of Liberty. Hang on a second. Son of Liberty Radio sent me $5. Thank you so much. We have a Salsa Verde Doritos in South Texas, Fraga, an hour and a half north of Mexico. There it is.
That's the first place I had them was in Mexico, and they still had apple soda. Apple soda is another thing that's hard to find here too. That we used to have it. Slice was the brand. Remember, lemon lime slice, tangerine slice, and apple slice. They had one. What was it called? What is an apple called? It's like Marzon or something like that. But in Mexico, they had an apple soda, and I remember being down there, sweaty as hell, eating salsa verde Doritos and drinking an apple slice or whatever they called it. It was so good. Good times.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second.
Oh, sorry.
Hang on. I'm sorry. I've got to take care of this. This is for Mike Wilson, Art.
Jackie Daytona is nuts. 75 milligrams. Their tolerance is through the roof. I've done 50 and 100, and I never want to go there. I'm more of like a 12 to 20 guy.
Now, you said you liked lemon meringue pie. What about key lime pie? How do you feel about that?
When done right, it's great.
Yeah, we discovered it in Florida for the first time and loved it.
Yeah, it's tough though because you get kind of garbagey versions that are like. True. I don't know how to. You know what I'm talking about. There's like a chalky, not fresh.
Right.
Like a good key lime pie, the crust is buttery, and you can tell it's not soggy and weird. And the filling,
and weird.
Yeah, the filling is refreshing. It doesn't feel like it sits on your tongue with that weird chalky aftertaste for a while. That's how I do it. I mean, I judge a Chinese. It's like you said, you judge things by their sauces. I judge a Chinese food place by their chow mein. I judge an Italian place by their sauces. You know, you go to a chop house. Or a steakhouse, you get their ribeye or you get something. But if it's a key lime pie, it's got to be refreshing and not damp and weird.
Yeah, I think Race Dorman's hitting on Billy's wife Deb there, but he's being very nice.
Should have been on the stream because I know nothing about cooking or food.
You know how to eat it. You know
just Graham did leave, right? Or is he in the back?
No, Graham took off.
He really because he had to.
It's going to the King show.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So Dan is going deep into the snack world. Oh, we like that though. We like that. We need more snack information.
This is what happens when you're the son of somebody who has been taught how to cook by a professional. and you're a latchkey kid, you not only take on their recipes, but you take on that sensibility. And what I would do when I got home from high school is I would go through the fridge and I'd try flavor combos. You know, like one of my favorite high school foods is sliced hot dogs, cubed cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. And I would take a toothpick and I would like an hors d'oeuvre work out different combos of the three. Yeah, I mean, you can't really dip into
Hey,
sauce.
Dan, how many times did you burn the kitchen down being a latchkey kid?
Not once. Not once. I did.
Hey,
bring
Geek
my
Avenger.
mom's-
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Geek Avenger sends $10 and he says, thank you very much, Geek. Appreciate it. You judge a Chinese food place by their chicken feet. Do you guys agree with that?
I was in San Francisco once, and they were like, "What's really like?" Well, we're in Chinatown in San Francisco. It's the first Chinatown in the United States. Bring us the authentic, San Francisco Chinatown. And the first thing they brought us was fucking fried chicken. And we were like, "What?"
Really?
Yeah, you know what, dude? If that place is making broth from their chicken feet, I love them.
There you go.
I love them. That is the best bone broth.
Art, what do you got for dessert for us or snack?
All right, dessert. Okay, cheesecake. I love cheesecake, and my wife makes an excellent cherry cheesecake, and it is to die for. It is so good. And whenever I'm in New York City, there's a steakhouse called Frankie and Johnny's, and they have a good like New York cheesecake that I always get as well. So I would say cheesecake. Are we doing snacks too, or is that
whatever?
Wait,
what do you feel
don't
like?
stop on cheesecake. Don't stop on cheesecake, okay? Because you hit me in the other spot. I know a lot of people that are just like, yo, I need this cheesecake raw dog, just graham cracker crust and the cheesecake itself. Some people want the fancy Oreo crust or whatever. What is your preference? Do you want?
No, wait a minute. Do you guys know the difference between cheesecake and cheesecake pie?
Nope.
No.
Cheesecake pie is much creamier. My mom makes it. It's unbelievable. It's
I think
cheesecake,
that's what
but
my wife makes. Yeah.
It's with a graham cracker crust, but it's in a pie. It's in a pie dish, and it's much creamier. Where the regular cheesecake is a little bit cakier.
It's denser.
This is much creamier.
Where's your mom at? Aaron, does your mom live in Oregon?
Yeah, she lives right across the hall.
Where you live? I'm on my way, dude.
Right now.
Yeah, I'm on my way.
No, it's tremendous. It's just creamy and
it's called cheesecake pie.
That's what it is. Yes.
Yeah, that is delicious. I do like the more dense, I guess, traditional cheesecake.
Right, well. Like New York cheesecake or something.
But you know what? I can't eat it as dessert because that is so filling. Like to me, like a New York cheesecake that's the meal. Like I'll have to eat, just that. I'm not a dessert guy after dinner. Are you guys dessert? Like, can you eat like your meal and then still have room for dessert?
Well, I'll plan for it.
I got a story about that when we get to it.
I can't do it, man.
The first thing I look at on the menu when I go to a restaurant.
There's a lot of love for you in the chat, Deb.
Debbie's very popular.
Anything about food? Like I don't even know what
all you guys.
She's amused.
No, actually, I know a lot of really good cooks that are men. And
Aaron made his dinner
but,
tonight on the show.
Oh, I'm sorry I missed that.
Yeah, he made it.
I was not streaming. I was on a live downstairs while you guys were.
Yeah, Aaron cracked open the Kraft Thousand Island dressing.
Well, you gotta you gotta be quick. You gotta be quick and move along. So I took some shortcuts. But now, Debbie, I got a question for you in a second. But let's get Andy. Then I'm going to circle back up to you. Andy, pick your dessert here.
You can share the screen.
Okay.
Pecan pie, baby.
Ooh,
love it.
That's very southern.
I love a good pecan pie.
I've never had
pecan. Heat it up. No ice cream. Just heat up the pecan pie or chocolate pecan pie. Just love it so much.
Can you eat the whole thing?
Can I eat the whole pie?
Yeah, no, the whole slice.
That's rich, man. That's rich.
That's what I'm saying. I get about 3 bites in and I'm like, I'm good.
No, I could eat 2 slices because the slice they bring out, I'm always like, that's kind of a baby slice. Give me another one.
Holy
Yeah, when
shit.
we moved here, when we moved here into Texas, like pecans are everywhere, and so like housewarming gifts were like pecan pies. So I'd never had one, and I'm like you, Dan, where you get like 2 or 3 bites into it. It's pretty good, but man, that's it. You know, you're
Yeah, you
done.
start
can eat
feeling
half
that
of one.
between your heart and your stomach where you're like, whoa, that's a lot of fucking shit right there.
Well, it's like
Oh,
eating
no.
baklava, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
so rich.
Oh, baklava is so good.
Yeah, but it's so rich. It's just
Andy
like,
likes the rich stuff, like a
I
goonie.
do.
I guess.
You're like a goonie.
I do.
Well,
and then if you want to exit out of that, I can show you. So this isn't really snack related. This is more movie related since I go to a lot of movies. So I got 3 of my, because, you know, I buy candy here and sneak it in.
Mm,
How dare
So
you.
we have
Nice.
first, I dig my Mike and Ike's.
those are good.
Love my Mike
Yeah,
and
I like
Ike's.
Mike and Ike's. Yeah.
Love my Swedish fish.
Yes.
Anything chewy and sweet, I'm there.
Yeah,
And then I
cheese,
love my
cheese.
Raisinets.
Oh, I love Raisinets. Holy crap. Any raisins, I love.
Do you mix your Raisinets in your popcorn? You dump it into the popcorn?
I've
I
never
could do
done that.
that.
That sounds like that'd be good.
Yes.
I could, yeah.
It's like a
I'll
treat.
do that, but I'll keep them separate like a McDLT.
Keep the hot side on the hot side, the cold side on the cold side.
Cold side stays cold. Yes.
Oh my
All right.
It's funny because, well, my wife's mom is Polish, so she can make baklava. So baklava, I love baklava.
Oh, wow.
And then the only other one I don't have is I like recent. I like the peanut M&Ms because I can
yeah.
at least say I'm eating healthy because of the peanuts, and then have a little bit of chocolate too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude,
Hey.
and when I was in the Army, we had a field exercise that was for 7 days. We were out in the woods. And how did I survive?
M&M's.
Peanut M&Ms. They said
Sweet
I went
baby.
to PX and like if anybody has contraband, you're gonna be thrown out of the Army and like okay. So I think I had 100 packs of it.
Did
'Cause
you
they want us
store
to,
that
like, cook
uncomfortable
chicken.
hunk of
No.
candy in the one place no one would find it?
Oh,
No,
ouch.
Melts in your mouth, buddy.
Melt
All
it
right.
out. Mind your blood.
Deb, I want to know, do you have a go-to dessert that you like to make or just
Eat.
would your favorite to eat?
So
Either or.
we touched on one of my favorite desserts. I'm not
Cheesecake.
a big baker.
Mm-hmm.
What do I make for dessert? I know, like
birthday
if I
birthday
yeah,
cakes.
that's
and
not
stuff.
doesn't count.
3-layer birthday cakes. Heck yes, I got one of them.
If
I demanded it.
if I go out to dinner and I have a choice between an appetizer and dessert, I'm always having the appetizer.
Okay, so
Oh,
give me your
no, I'll go with
appetizer then.
dessert.
Give us a go-to appetizer for you then. Put you on the spot.
I love anything. I like baked clams, clams oregonata, oysters Rockefeller. I love
Yeah.
shellfish.
That's what's
Shellfish,
up.
okay.
We have actually a great recipe for oysters Rockefeller.
Oh yeah, is that what you made?
Yes.
After the pandemic?
Yes.
Man, that's good stuff.
So you
Yeah,
actually you to get in there with the oysters, you cook that stuff yourself, huh?
Yeah. If you ever heard of Blue Point oysters,
Yes.
Blue Point, my town is Bayport Blue Point, so the Blue Point Oyster Factory is a mile down the road.
Not even.
So
You're so lucky, dude.
So because of when COVID happened, they shut everything down. My buddy's like,
Yeah.
dude, you want how much oysters did he give us? 40 or something? Like
I know,
because
we were giving them away. We
Yeah.
had so many.
so then she made this amazing oysters Rockefeller, and then even then we were breaking curfew and all that crap. And my sister-in-law came over like, yeah, come on over. Frig this.
Hey,
So
hey,
Oysters,
yeah,
come.
so we had
for you East Coasters, is Cioppino a thing out in the
Mhm.
East?
Mm-hmm.
Man, that like if I had to, death row, if I had to have a last meal, it would be Cioppino.
what's that? What is that?
The fish stew.
It's a fish stew. It's a Bay Area thing. It's a tomato-based
That's a
broth.
Little Italy thing too.
Yeah. Clams, oysters, whitefish, crab, lobster. Like it's based on the idea of chipping ins.
Yeah.
Oh,
In
nice.
on the East Coast, it's also a very big Christmas Eve meal because it's like the 7 fishes all in one dish.
Is that one of those
Wow,
dishes
how about
that
that?
sobers you up? Like there's these weird dishes that sober you up. Like
I've never
A
experienced.
menudo. Menudo will do that.
menudo, yeah.
Mandudo. Oh my, that's the
No, menudo. Hey, I did this job.
No.
It was a
No.
very not loved movie called Dragon Ball Evolution, and we filmed it in central Mexico, and we were doing what they call full sevens, which was 7 days a week for like 3 weeks straight, and then we got to have 2 days off, and we went to this place called La Playa, which means the beach, but it's a club called La Playa. And the entire crew, the cast, we all got lit as shit. We just were drinking because we needed that release. It was like 3 weeks straight of no time off. Wake up, go to sleep, work. It was like nonstop. I hadn't been that hungover in forever. And the other board artist that was on there, this guy Joe, he said, we need to go get some menudo. And I said, I'm not eating that shit. That's cow guts. And he said, no,
It's horrible.
I said, no, he said, you need to go. There's a place called Sanborn's. It's kind of like their Walmart. But they had a restaurant inside. It was buttered corn tortillas and menudo. I felt fantastic within a half hour of eating it. And what it is that tripe, which is essentially the lining of the cow's guts. I know it sounds nasty.
It is nasty.
First off, it was delicious.
Oh,
that's number one.
You must have been hungover if you thought it was
Dude,
delicious.
I was in a bad way.
It was in a bad way.
But that tripe took it all away, and I felt as if I had been healed of my ails.
Well, it did the job, but man, I used to work at a restaurant. I used to make that stuff by the.
That must have been shitty.
Yeah,
You guys
get the
are ruining
raw,
that
get the
appetite.
raw stuff in the pig knuckles and the brains and the tripe and
Yeah.
put it in. And then I remember my first time I made it, I talked to my boss and I was like, what do you do with the bones from like the pig knuckles and stuff like that? He goes, you just leave it in. I said, so we serve it with the bones in it? And he's like, yeah.
Mucho sabor.
Yeah, and I think like everybody that was hungover in the morning, because it's like Hispanics, they eat it like a breakfast, right? So in the restaurant, they would come in and they would just order it, and I was like, why? And then you realize that they were probably hungover and they needed to sober up. Yeah.
Hey,
Oh
let me get a couple chats here real quick. Charlie's London says, to sober up quick, my go-to is McDonald's chicken nuggets. How about that? And Walter Simonson, the legend, is in the crowd.
The greatest.
Hi, Walter.
Hey.
Hello.
Says, hey, folks, lovely to see all your faces. Just stumbled across your confab, and I need to get back to penciling tonight. So be good, stay safe. Hope to see everybody somewhere down the road, the line. I don't know. I just heard cow guts, and now I really need to get back to the board.
We
Amen,
love you,
brother.
We love you.
I love to you and Wheezy.
Thank you, Walter,
That's right.
for stopping by, man. We love you.
Legend.
That's
Both
awesome.
you guys.
All time
So I
great.
brought Deb up here, so we don't keep her up here. But what did you make me? What's the venison that you made me? I
was
let you go and
pan roasted venison with a cranberry balsamic reduction. Brown rice with quinoa because we have to be healthy.
Hey, quinoa is awesome.
And garlic roasted asparagus with a balsamic drizzle.
Now, is it harder to cook venison because it's such a lean meat? I mean, do you have to add a little oil in there when you're cooking that, or do you just cook it?
Oil and butter go in the pan first. It's marinated we try to do more than 24. That was 10. How was it with this?
Fantastic. It was amazing.
A lot of it is the cut of venison you use.
That was a buck too. That was that big buck. I wanted to try him.
Since he is a hunter, we have a lot of it. Our dogs eat it, so we just save the back straps and the tenderloin to eat.
You should send some down here.
I will. Heck yeah.
Or you could come up and visit.
Yeah, or
and
if you go to South Carolina, if you go to
visit.
South Carolina, Con, I'll bring some down.
I can't. I noticed I was booked. Because I was trying. We were talking, and I'm in Louisville that day.
How far are you from Andy? Are you guys near each other?
About 5 hours.
5 hours.
Oh my God! All right, we'll mail it to you. We'll FedEx
Not
it.
too far. Now you brought up a good point, Aaron.
Yeah.
When it comes to something that's super lean, you can use oil. or you can do the sort of halfway point. What I do, a secret, again, I'm bringing up my grandmother and my mom again, but they had techniques. I'll take a lid that's smaller than the pan I'm cooking in, and I will put it over the thing I'm cooking to sort of infuse and keep all the moisture in, almost like a steaming.
Yeah.
You know, and you can reduce oil that way.
These guys all cook. Oh my god.
Well, oil is not always bad. It depends which
Oh,
oil
it's not.
you're using.
It's not. Right. It's
Some
true.
oils are very good for you. Olive oil and avocado oil you should use because they're healthy.
Right.
Well,
That's why I
Dan,
always cook with
that's how I
avocado
make
oil.
my grilled
Help
cheese
lower your
sandwiches.
bad cholesterol. So
I make my grilled cheese sandwiches with the lid too. Like it cooks faster, it cooks even.
and the cheese melts faster.
Yeah, the cheese melts faster. Yeah.
Could I circle back real quick to just two things?
Yes.
And then I'm gonna skedaddle.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. I'll see you
Do
later.
it.
You guys and Debbie on the bro.
No.
Yeah, they'd rather watch
Dan-
you anyway.
Dan
put
was
her in the
talking
driver's
about key lime pie, which is one of
Yep.
my all-time favorites.
Love
And you
it,
said
yeah.
you were judging it by the chalkiness. The other thing to judge it by is the color. Key lime pie should never be green.
Mm-hmm.
If it is, it's food coloring.
What color should it be?
It should be almost the color of butter.
Yeah, it's like
Really?
yellow.
So more yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close to white, but barely yellow. If
Okay.
it's made fresh and homemade, we have a friend, Dave, and Serena Dave,
Yeah, Dave.
makes homemade key lime pie every year with a graham cracker crust, and it is to die for.
I've had the key lime pie that is cream colored, and I've also had the green stuff. So now I know.
Stuff
Okay.
is fake, so just get rid of that.
Okay.
We don't. The food coloring is bad for your brain. And Andy, the pecan pie lover, love that myself. My mother, and I will send it to you, has a very unique recipe for pecan pie. It's not like traditional at all, but equally good. And it's made with Ritz crackers, believe it or not.
Oh.
No kidding.
Egg whites, brown sugar, pecans, and probably a couple other little things. But it kind of makes its own crust, one of those deals.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And a very, like a meringue crust on top. It's
No.
absolutely delicious. So we
Yeah.
send you that recipe. And now
There
I'm done. So great,
Okay.
Hey,
you guys.
Thank
Hey,
you,
before
Deb,
you
for your
leave- before you
contributions
leave,
tonight.
Deb,
Appreciate it.
Deb, don't
You
you
still
forget-
need to see that puppy.
I had a
Saying.
question
I'm
for you,
taking the
Deb.
wine.
Really?
Okay,
Yeah.
she's out. Deb,
Really?
I had a question
Bye.
for you. All right,
Bye.
bye.
The
Okay,
puppy's asleep, so
here's
All
the
right,
question
fine.
I had, because I'm susceptible to suggestion when it comes to food. So, for example, when I watch Sopranos, I drink wine. When I watched Mad Men, I drink bourbon. There was one time my wife and I were watching a nature show, and it was about the octopus. And,
oh yeah, the octopus. That one movie about it, the octopus teacher or something.
I don't think it was that. It was like on
Oh.
Discovery or something. It was just showing how they are smart and like what they eat and how they eat. And there was a portion where the octopus was going after lobsters and tearing them apart and eating them. You know?
You like to be a lobster, man.
Oh, we had to go get seafood after watching that. You guys ever have that where you're just like, fuck, no, I need a burger, god damn it. Or you're
Yeah.
watching
really.
a TV show where they play some Deliverance style banjo, but like
That'll ruin your appetite in a hurry.
no, but somebody's cooking some barbecue and they're like, "Oh man, go back and get some of the done." And you're like, "Man, I could use some
the
barbecue
worst,
right
the
now."
worst for me is like going grocery shopping when you're hungry.
Don't
Oh,
do
yeah.
that.
Yeah, you can't
That'll
do that.
triple your budget.
Do it all the time, man. It's terrible.
Well, do you guys watch those cooking shows late at night? They're on like 11:30, and it's
Yes.
stopped or whatever they are, and then like, I'm hungry, and then
Yes.
and she's like, me too, and then you get up and you start. You got to eat like at
Watch
1:00 in the
this guy.
morning.
This guy, he would drive across the country, was like dives, diners, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
it was always on just before dinner. And so the three of us would be watching that. Pamela would be in the kitchen, putting something together. And oh my gosh, man,
No, there's like 3 or 4
perfect, like,
restaurants here in town that he visited that we eat
Yeah.
at.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
great.
Hey,
That's the best.
I gotta do my dessert, then we're gonna do food stories. But I'm a pie guy. I am, and I almost bought some pie, but I thought no, because I'm really more of a chocolate guy. So I got some brownies, and brownies with frosting on them. Oh my gosh, forget about it. But I'll take anything with chocolate on it. Chocolate covered almonds, raisinets, as Andy brought up earlier. I just chocolate is my go-to on almost chocolate. Anything.
All right, I have to ask you, Aaron.
I can't say that I've ever.
Yeah, I have to ask you. Okay, so there's like Godiva chocolate. There's all these like these high-end chocolates, but I say Hershey is right up there with some of the best chocolate in the world, man.
No, it's.
I don't know if I can go with you on that. Art.
Hey, man, no knock on
really
our southern,
chocolate, man.
knock on our southern neighbors, but dude, Mexico shouldn't be making Hershey's chocolate. Is all I'm saying.
Hey, I've had chocolate. I've had chocolate in Paris, and I've had chocolate in Germany, and the German chocolate is the best that I've had.
It's lieber German chocolate.
Okay, so are you milk chocolate or dark chocolate? I'm a dark chocolate guy.
I used to be all milk chocolate, but I've become dark chocolate recently.
Dark chocolate's great.
Hey,
I love it.
If you guys are really chocolate fans, this is gonna sound like the wackest recommendation, but you're gonna like come around on another professional. If you follow through, you're gonna go, you know what, man, this is good. If you go to Walmart and you go in their candy section, they have a store brand called Sam's Choice. If you're a dark chocolate guy, if you go and find the 90% or the 85% chocolate bar that is Sam's Choice, 90% comes in a pink-ish, 85 comes in a blue. Yeah.
I try not to go to Walmart.
Hey, I'll have to send you some then.
All right, dudes. Here it comes.
Let's go.
I want a comic book related food story or a food story that is comic book related. Billy,
go to me.
What do you got for me?
Go to me last because I'm still on the vein of my existence. Is this? I ate this. This is my problem. I ate this
God!
I will literally, if I'm drawing something, I will literally eat or writing a family-sized bag of Lay's. This shit, which I haven't had in a long time, but I'm like, I'll grab that. I grab like
those are addicting, man.
And I just sit there and I'm sitting there drawing my left hand and just shoveling this crap in the. And I, as Graham had said, he's not a sweets guy. I think it was Graham, unless it was you, Andy. But me too. I'm a salt guy. Salt is my bane.
I'm both. I mean, honestly, I'm both. I can do that as well. But the nice thing is, I just don't keep stuff like that up here. So when I'm working, I don't,
So Billy, when you
walk by and you just see it there in the kitchen and you don't just like, you don't get one of these when you're walking by, just like and then you carry it upstairs.
When you scan your artwork, Billy, how do you get the orange stains out?
I scan it in color and then I go grayscale, bro.
Okay.
Hey,
okay.
My 90-year-old mother loves the air puffed Cheetos, the really soft ones.
Yeah.
But she puts on rubber gloves before she eats them so she doesn't get it on her hands.
I love your mom, dude. She's the best.
Well, did you ever have the spicy hot Cheetos?
Oh yeah, flaming hot.
Oh yeah, those are good.
Yeah,
great.
They make Cheetos flavored mac and cheese now.
Oh, do they?
That's just weird. I always thought it was weird when it's like a weird folded thing. Like I said this to my kids one day. They go, Dad, get me the Trix flavored yogurt, and I'm like, kids. That you realize that's yogurt that tastes like a cereal that's supposed to taste like fruit, right? So why don't you just go get the fruit yogurt?
Oh.
Like, and when I hear something like Cheetos flavored mac and cheese, you go, Cheetos are supposed to be cheese flavored snacks. So there's a redundancy here,
Maybe it's the crunchiness.
No, there's no crunch. It's just
but what always amazes me is like, how do they make this shit? Like, it's all chemicals, right? So it's like
exactly. There's no real cheese in there.
Cheese, like
it's MK Ultra. It's all the shit that controls our mind to say more.
Instead of just using real cheese, they got to make shit up. It's like the Impossible Burger. How much chemicals and shit are in that to make it taste like beef?
Like
right? Right? I mean, what are you putting in your body? But Charlie's
what is this, Billy? What is this?
What it is that from what I know is that Twinkies were originally made with banana filling.
Yes.
But in World War II, they rationed bananas, so they had to come up with a whole nother cream, another filling.
Yeah.
And I think that filling has so much chemicals and preservatives in it. That's why you can eat a Twinkie and it still tastes like shit 1,000 years from now.
Well, wait,
I like Twinkies. They don't taste like shit. Get out of here.
So in the 60s, like, because when I was a kid, I remember Hostess tasting so much better.
Right.
So my wife and I were convinced like they changed the formula. So in the 60s, were they still making banana filling for it?
No, bananas came out after the World War War. Pre-World War II.
Okay.
And they rationed bananas for, I don't know why. I guess because they couldn't get to it. Who the hell knows?
Maybe.
But I think, and Charlie's tell me if I'm right, but I believe that's right. Is that then they had to switch the flavor or switch the filling, and the filling is what the preservatives why Twinkies can last, like I said, 10,000 years or something.
Well, banana filling sounds.
You're putting shit in your body that you really shouldn't be putting in.
Yeah, Art,
It's embalming cream.
I'm with you.
Exactly.
I think they
live forever.
I think they changed the formula in sometime in the late 80s, because I had that same sensation of like, this tastes like chemicals. This tastes plastic. This doesn't taste like dough. Like it used to taste like flour and dough and like what they, it's supposed to, not exanthium and coronium and whatever the fuck.
And McDonald's cheeseburgers are the same. The only thing that held up, and I think it was you, Dan, or maybe it was Billy. It was on one of the Bros shows, and we were talking about Cocoa Pebbles.
Oh yeah.
And so you talk about. Yeah, you guys talk about like just planting a seed. I went to the store the next day. I bought a box of Cocoa Pebbles, and I'll tell you, it delivered.
Hell yeah.
Delivered, man.
So did you eat that box in like 2 days, right?
Use Cocoa Pebbles to make Rice Krispie treats with Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why does it see, Aaron? I gotta tell you, every time they have Rice Krispie treats, they're just regular Rice Krispies. Why doesn't anyone that I never had, and I'm gonna yell at my wife when I get downstairs. Why doesn't she make chocolate, Cocoa Pebbles?
Yes, it's the best. It's the best.
Frosted Flakes treats would be dope.
Oh,
now, I got a question for you guys as a snacker, and it might be the munchy guy in me, but have you guys ever gone into like the Wolverine Berserker Rage snacking frenzy where even though you're eating it, you're thinking about the next handful?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Food.
Okay.
Doritos do that to me, man.
Yeah, you're like, oh man, these are so good, but I can't wait for the next handful. But it's in my fucking mouth right now.
Right.
I know.
I'm totally
all right, guys. Hey, hang on.
Mac and cheese.
Slow down. Okay. I want comic book food related stories.
Yes.
So, Billy, are you ready? Or are you still thinking?
Not yet.
Okay, Fraga, you got to have something for me.
I got a bunch, man.
Give me one.
Okay, I'll give you the one that's probably common for anybody who's been to San Diego Comic-Con. There was a place very popular in the Gaslamp district called Dick's Last Resort.
Yes,
of course.
Yeah, and somebody in our party, this is early on, probably 92, 93. Let's go to Dick's, and like their napkins are toilet paper, and like it's a, from what you hear, it's got a great reputation. But I remember thinking, like, as we're getting our orders and listening to the rapport of the waiter, like, this fucking waiter's an asshole, like, what a fucking prick, like, I've never seen such shitty service at a place that's supposed to be great, So we order, and I remember just kind of like as a kid, I mean, I grew up Christian, and I just thought, like, this person is like obstinate, unruly, on purpose, unruly, and I remember walking, and I don't remember who I talked to, but it wasn't the person that I was with. It was another person in the party, and I found out, like, that one of the shticks of this place is that the waiters are supposed to be assholes.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
right.
I didn't know that though. Like, I was like, what a fucking prick, getting kind of heated,
Dan's ready to throw down. You're not getting a tip.
And then sidebar, anybody that goes, it's still there. Best breakfast I ever had that wasn't cooked by my stepfather was at a place called Hennessy's, same Gaslamp district.
Yep.
Yeah.
Aaron, you'll like this because you're into cereal hacks, apparently. There's something called Captain Crunch French Toast. And
I have never had that.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounds excellent.
Non-Crunch Berry, of course. They crushed up Captain Crunch, and they made French toast, but they rolled it in Captain Crunch. And oh my Lord, what a fantastic treat. Hennessy's San Diego. So those are my con stories. That's it.
Charlie Slendon says, I'm so glad I stayed up marking to listen to this. I normally miss this live, but as I'm off work, I was so glad to catch it. You guys rock. Thank you, Charlies. Appreciate that so much.
Love you, Charlies.
Art, what do you got for us? You got to have a con or a comic book food story.
I do. So I did the Home Shopping Network, and I was hawking cable number ones, and I was on the show along with Mr. T. So Mr. T is there, and he's selling Mr. T and the T Force, and I'm, doing the cable books. And so after they took us all out to dinner, so it was just a really cool, surreal moment where Pamela and I had dinner with Mr. T. So it was pretty damn cool. And a lot of people just wanted to oh, Mr. T, like, what was it like to be in, this competition? Remember what it was, the bouncer competition?
Right. Yeah.
And what was it like to be on Rocky, in Rocky and all this other stuff? And so he was just kind of like, I've had these conversations a million times, and my wife was sitting right across from him, and she was just like, so how's your parents? How's your family? And you know what? Mr. T talked to her all night, like everybody else was not even there, and she's just talking directly to Mr. T. So that was like, that was a high point, definitely.
Is it safe to say that everyone there except for Pamela was pitied?
Pity is cool. Hey, Sigma Comics sent out $5. Shout out to the panel and much success for 2022. Keep doing the good work. Thanks to Andy for having me on his show last week. Thank you, Sigma. We appreciate the $5.
Yeah, and good dude.
Respect, Sigma.
Glad to have you here. Thank you so much. All right, Andy, what do you got for us? Food story, comic food story.
Man, I'm just trying to think because, you go out to eat at every convention. So how many conventions have we all done over, 30 years?
So many.
You got to have one then. Certainly one sticks out.
I know. I'm just trying to, I guess for me, a memorable one is at a Baltimore con a few years back. I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a really high end. I think this is right. Is it a Brazilian meat house or whatever?
Oh yeah.
They come by they shave it off, and they've got like the dude comes by with chicken. Dude comes by pork, certain type
alligator,
of steak, another type of steak.
Yeah, I know that.
Dude, we just pounded that, man. It was so good. That's the first thing that came to mind, and that's what I usually like to go with. So
who were you hanging out with that night?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Omnibus Press guys. So, Bart and Ron and Sean and stuff. It's back when we first started Omnibus Press up again back in 2016. So.
All right, listen to this. I had a bunch. I had a Howard Cosell story. I have a Johnny Carson story, but this is the one. This is the one. Well, I didn't really talk to him. I just happened to be sitting next to him. But here's the one I'm going to tell. Okay, I go to New York, and I was trying to break into comics, right? And this goes on to his Fraga knows because he saw my video. He made me make the video about what I learned from Michael Golden.
I didn't force you, man. It was an inspiration.
It was an inspiration,
okay.
But. So Renee Witterstatter was putting me up because I was working on What at the time, and Michael Golden was the art director over at DC, and we hung out the entire week, the three of us, and I it was the stuff I learned from Michael that really sort of changed the trajectory of my career and actually got me into comics. So.
I like it.
Oh, you know what's crazy?
Oh my gosh!
Shelly is
paying. Show's almost over. Show's almost over.
She's paying you to tell you about dinner, and you
I know. Oh, they're smiling there.
What do you net after that? $9.30 your way.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, one of the times we went out to eat, we go to this restaurant, right? And I can't remember what we had, but we were talking about whatever. And I was stuffed. I mean, we just ate. And Golden's like, well, let's get dessert. And I'm like, dude, there's just no way. I said, I cannot eat another bite. And he looks at me, he goes, I don't know, I won't use the word that he used, but he was like,
It sounded like
what are you,
kitty cat.
no, he's like, yeah, what are you, some kind of wimp or something? He's like, what do you mean you can't have? He pressured me into getting dessert, and I thought I was going to puke. But this whole week he did this to me, and he's the guy that taught me not only how to be a good comic book artist, but how to eat dessert even when you're full. Because we did it every freaking night, and I was stuffed, and I was like, I can't. But I did it. I did it. I learned to eat when I was full.
She'd say you got to keep a hollow in your leg.
Yeah,
man.
You know?
Exactly.
You always got to save room for dessert. Damn it!
Yeah.
It's the first thing I look at on the menu is what they have for dessert. Because if there's no good dessert, I order differently than if there is good dessert.
That's true.
But see, back then I would never go to a restaurant and order dessert. It just never even occurred to me. Now I do it all the time because Michael Golden trained me on the art of eating when you're full.
By the best.
Yeah.
I have a sidebar story. I'm sorry, Billy. I know you've been waiting. Our good friend Joe Jusko.
Yeah.
Yes.
The very first time I ever met Joe, it wasn't a convention. We did a signing together in Las Vegas in December of 1993. It was the weekend that the MGM Grand Hotel opened. I still have my poker chip that says opening day. He and I share this moment in this convention. I'm not even 20 yet. You know, I'm like, no, I am 20. I'm not 21 yet, so I'm not allowed to drink. And the host of the signing takes us to dinner, and Joe and I see this thing, and I don't remember the ounces. I think it was somewhere around 64, but it was like a fancy steakhouse. If you could eat this gigantic brontosaurus-sized steak, baked potato, bread, and salad, you eat free. And I really took to Jusko. I mean, you guys know Joe. He's charisma. He's machismo. He's a lot like Graham. You want to make sure that you're good in his book, you know?
Yep.
And he's like, I think I'm going to order this fucking brontosaurus thing, you know? And I'm like, yeah, me too. And
Peer pressure.
we raced each other. You know, it was like a man versus food thing. And I mean, I remember getting to the point where we're having discussions, like getting real granular about it. Like, if there wasn't the bread, you know, I'd be done. Or, you know, the potato is really sticking me, you know. Like, if there was, you know, they get you with a potato, you know, and like I'm sweating, and he's like, he's staying rock solid. But we both killed it. And I know the promoter was really happy because we saved him like $100 and something by like kicking the thing's ass. But that's what Jusko and I bonded over. Anytime we see each other, we're like, And we both have, like, I saved it. We both have our MGM Grand opening day poker chips because that day, only that day when they opened, their chips all said opening day. So that's like kind of my like little like Joe Jusko coin.
Yeah.
There you go. Cool. All right, Billy, give us your story, brother.
So speaking of Jusko and Dick's Last Resort, I think it was San Diego. Debbie probably remember. Like maybe that was Saturday night, and we went to Dick's. That's what you do. So it was like me, Johnny Romita Jr. This one, she first came out. Yeah. It was a big hit, and then I met Jimmy. Introduced me to Johnny Jr., to Joe Jusko. You know, so we all became friends. You know, all these New York guys, and they were just like became brothers, you know, immediately. So we went to Dick's, and Dan, we had the similar experience with Here Comes, or Andy, I forget who it was. That was you, Dan. That Here Comes this waiter, some like, you know, soy type waiter pulling his shit like being a dick to us. And I got Jusko, who's a retired cop. We got Johnny Jr.
Oh shit.
Debbie, me, Jimmy was there, a couple of us, and we're like, are you fucking serious? Like,
are any of you in on it?
They went. We all went back at him because we didn't know, you know, that how they're gonna act.
None of you knew,
dude. You better get the fuck out of here right now, whatever. And then he ended up leaving, and a woman waitress came over, and she was so nice to us because he tried to pull his shit. And Johnny's like, dude, do me a favor. get our fucking beers and get the fuck out of here right now. Like, well, you guys, you got all these, all you guys with this one girl. So what are you all taking her home? Or like, are you fucking serious? You saying about my fucking girl? Are you fucking? You better fucking jack out, or we're gonna throw you over that fence right now. That's I need to talk to him quiet. Like, are you fucking serious? Because it's not gonna work out well for you.
Yeah,
I think the guy said you're gonna put him under the table and leave him there all night. We're gonna trap you under this table and just keep kicking you, and you're gonna be trapped all night under this table. Something crazy like that. And he ended up leaving, and this woman came over, the woman waitress, and she was really cool.
They need to let people know because
That's how it was the first time I went there. The first time I went to San Diego, I was the same way. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
People warned me. I knew before I went in because people warned me.
Did you? Like the second time I went, it was kind of like, when you see that movie, The Prestige, the second time you see the movie, you're like, yeah, I'm in. I get what's happening. You go in there and you're like, nah, this is going to be funny as shit. These guys are a joke,
Right.
But if you don't know, you're like,
right.
Man, he was a skinny dude, and here's these guys, you know what I mean? And I'm like the smallest one out of all of them. I'm just sitting there, and he just comes and just says something like I said, like to Joe or something like that. And Joe's like, "What'd you fucking say to me?" Like that. And it just went on. And then he had that nervous laughter and all that shit. He said something else to Johnny. And Johnny's like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here and bring my fucking beers right now. I don't want to get the fuck out of here." And then we it was so great because they Brooklyn guys and city guy, and the guy's like, and then he was gone. He was like, "I can't deal with these retards.
These guys don't know."
Yeah,
it's so funny.
Hey
guys.
And then
somebody came in really early on the show and asked like an off-the-wall question, but he super chatted me, so I'm like, I'm going to honor the question. So I'm going to go around real quick. This has nothing to do with what we were talking about, but do you guys have a favorite sci-fi cover artist, like sci-fi book artist that kind of stuck with you growing up, or just that as you look at now as an adult and go, wow, yeah, I really dig that guy's stuff? Billy.
Jeez, the first thing is either McGinnis or Frazetta, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, those paperback covers and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I was never a big Boris guy.
Boris's earlier stuff was much fresher, and it had life to it.
Yeah, when I discovered Boris was around 86, 87.
Yeah,
with the Weeder magazine.
And that's when I was in school. That's when I graduated, and I was in art school myself. And it looked like he was just tracing photographs. So I loved all the colors he put in the skin.
Right.
I love the skin tones. I love
it's very stiff though.
Yeah,
very stiff.
Yeah, and I love that you look at like I said, Frazetta, like the old masters. You look at Jan van Eyck. You look at any of these great McGinnis too. I love when they add colors to the flesh tones. It drives me nuts when guys just do various shades of tan or mocha or something, for flesh. I love
predictable. Yeah.
But aside from that, I mean, I appreciate him. I could never do that myself.
Right.
But I McGinnis, and I know McGinnis didn't do a lot of sci-fi as opposed to spy stuff and all, but definitely for me, McGinnis and Frazetta.
Okay, Fraga.
I would go really early, like a little earlier than Frazetta's book covers. Someone like Richard M. Powers.
Ooh.
Who was doing like Asimov and like he like did a lot of the stuff in the 50s, like a lot of the iconography that you see, the kind of cigar style rocket ships. Like I mean, I never wanted to draw or paint like that, but it definitely was evocative of that period of sci-fi.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Okay,
so that's who I'd go with.
Artie.
Yeah, if I couldn't go with Frazetta, I think I'd go with Kelly Frias. I dig that guy's stuff. And then there's Roger Dean, and they both did album covers.
Yeah, Dean did all those Yes album covers.
Yeah, I always thought Roger Dean was, and most of them, they were landscapes. They weren't characters per se, but they were very sci-fi looking. And I think that he actually took Jim Cameron to court over the Avatar stuff, the floating landmass, stuff like that. Yeah, and I got to meet him backstage at a Yes show some years back. It was pretty cool. I wish I would have had the money to buy one of those originals, because that would have been a blast, man.
How much were they back then?
they were tens of thousands, 25,000, $30,000. Even the prints were like, in the like $2,000 to $5,000 range and stuff like that. So what they did is, like, when Yes toured, they toured, or that Roger Dean toured with them. And so in the I guess backstage area or whatever, like off to the side of the stage, he would have like a pop-up or one of those little tents, and he would sell his originals and prints and stuff at the shows there. It was
he was probably making dumb money.
Yeah, because people know, like people in the know that he's going to be there. And so because they're all in these tubes and they're in the plastic tubes and stuff. So they were con ready to not be destroyed.
Excellent. Andy, what do you got?
I'm going to just go with generic novels, because sci-fi, I see images but not names of the artists. But when it came to just novels, I'm with Billy. I love Robert McGinnis. I just love his painting techniques. It's not, from a distance, everything pulls together well, or just shrunk down on a small book.
Right.
But then when you look at the originals, just the brush strokes, the glazing technique he uses and stuff, just
those
his overall
whites,
technique.
how thick those whites are.
Yeah,
Right? He has that
the highlights and stuff.
And then those whites are just like, they're like a half inch thick. It's crazy. You wouldn't even know, you wouldn't think it.
I love that. I love that.
Presented did the best sci-fi cover of all time, and that was the cover to Battlefield Earth. Minecraft.
Okay.
Greatest movie of all time. Ask Billy.
Yeah.
Or sorry, ask Billy's
All right,
pal on Travolta.
I was at
I'm
that
gonna go,
theater, bro.
I'm going to go with James Bama's Doc Savage covers.
Yeah,
And
fantastic.
great.
That's adventure, though, isn't it?
Huh?
Isn't that adventure?
it is
I would call
adventure,
it
but I didn't
sort of-
go with sci-fi.
It's kind of, that's sci-fi-ish. He also did a
call that
Star Trek.
gradient.
He also did a Star Trek cover, and he also did. So there's a little sci-fi for you.
True that.
And those, I was a big Frazetta guy. Obviously, like all of us were when we were kids, right? You'd go to the bookstore and you'd see the paperback rack of all the Frazetta covers. But when I started seeing those Doc Savage covers by James Bama, then I was like, it was it was just something else. They're so simple in the terms of usually a single figure with a background element, and they were all monochromatic, and they're they're just brilliant.
Yeah.
And I'll throw in a guy that came in took over the paperback cover duties right after Bama left. And the guy's I think his first name is Max, but his last name is Pfeiffer. And if you look at the style of his, like, I want to say I think the Black Spot is one. The Kingmaker is another one. If you want to check out those books, he has a very sort of painterly, chunky, layered style to his approach. And it's really, really cool. So if you get a chance to check those out, do that. The guy's last name is Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
Huh?
Pfeiffer.
That's the dude.
I think Bama did that. It was an Alfred Hitchcock book. Of his stories, and he's on the Harley with the coffin behind him. I think that's a Bama painting or something. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, so good, good.
I added something in the chat. I know this is a foodie thing, and this is if you don't mind sharing that,
sure.
The link. This is a guest we had on last night, and it's called Tasting History with Max Miller. And Max has over 1 million subscribers.
Okay, how do I share this? What do I do?
Well, I just have to click on it and then unless I can do it, I can share it if you'd like.
Yeah, dude. I didn't haven't watched the show yet, but I was on the night before with you and Valentino, and when Niall brought it up, I was like, man, I need to watch that. I love the idea of, like, what did the Vikings eat?
If you want to share this, and he is just brilliant. And what he does is that he is a history buff, and he's a cook, and he researches and finds all the ingredients of what, like this, a 4,000-year-old recipe for the Babylonian New Year food. Wow. And like it's like seminar, the dessert that killed a king, the history of ice cream.
Oh my gosh, this is
eggnog,
awesome.
the making of eggnog. But he's got like look at this farts of Portugali. The history's fluffy. Look at this figgy pudding. These are all the Christmas ones. Let me go to his home here. Here he has. So he's got like secret foods of the Spanish Inquisition. The Romans' naked festival food, Icelandic volcano bread.
Knights Templar. That one got me.
He has what all of these. Like these feeding gladiators, like 16. It's the most unbelievable thing, and he finds out these ingredients that people, that you could still use today, and then he finds ingredients that have gone extinct. Like there are some things that one of them was called sulfonine or something like that, and it's actually it was a grain that's gone extinct, that the Egyptians use and the Romans use.
How do you find out what the proxy is? Like, what is the closest thing?
Well, a lot of the stuff still exists because it's all sugar and it's far better eating than we eat today. It's all natural stuff. It's all herbs and all, but you just see like, holy cow! And he was such a great guest. And sorry, I don't want to go back. I don't want to.
So you actually had him on your show? Is that what you said?
He was on our show last night. Look at this spark black broth, which is lamb's blood and lamb or goat meat. And this is what the Spartans ate. And he ate. He's like, it's really not that bad, It's crazy. And he works with historians and all, and he makes and teaches you how to make the food that, again, feeding a Roman legionnaire. This is what they ate.
I don't see any chicken knuckles in there.
It's great stuff. But guys, subscribe to his channel. He's really entertaining. He's really smart.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I love that.
Making 400-year-old buttered brie, and we can still do that thing because most of that stuff is still around. I mean, some of the things you have Babylonian beer, but Babylonian beer was a very sour. So you mix it what's the German Weisser? It's a German sour beer, Hefeweizen or something like that, whatever they call it, but you could use that. And you might not get that exactly but it's incredible. Like shortbread and 1600s chickens and cherries, and he's like, wow, this is really great. So I recommend it for anyone
really cool
to go.
I wonder what it would be like if time travel was possible and you could give someone from like 1679. They're like, "Hey, I'm a peasant," that kind of shit. And you're like, "Have a Cool Ranch Dorito." Like, how fucked up would their life be? Like, oh God, fuck,
Right.
So
here, buddy, eat a Twinkie.
That's great.
No,
Can
you imagine though? You go back then and no one had any preservatives in their system. You give them something like that, it'd probably kill them.
they'd be hyped up like Superman, like Riddlin.
No shit.
I had an experience like that. So I had a long stay in the hospital. So you pretty much get cleansed, right? And so all I could think about is having a Coca-Cola, right? I want a Coca-Cola. I had one after like a month of detox. It was disgusting.
I can imagine the sugar and just
bad. Well, all I tasted was like chemicals and carbonation and stuff. It was disgusting. And then I had another one, and I was like, "Yeah, Coca-Cola."
Just kept drinking them until you got used to it again. I love it.
This is disgusting. God, I hate this.
I'll get used to this.
Too
Just
bad.
more and I'll be fine.
You ever see that little kid that takes a sip of some carbonated soda and is like, he's like, and then comes back and has another hit.
Well, that's how we were when you drank beer for the first time, right? In seventh grade, you drink the beer, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my God.
All right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
must have been a pro because my first cigarette, I was like, yeah, no big deal. And my first beer was like, no big deal. Yeah.
Look at you.
We used to
I
give
think
our
it's like I grew up in that kind of house.
Well, you invented them.
Yeah, so what does Babylonian beer taste like?
Well, I think my dad was always a beer drinker, so whenever he worked around, like on cars and stuff like that, it was always a beer. So it'd be like, hey, here you go. So I'd always have a hit off his beer when I was a kid.
Yeah, we did that too.
I got to drink beer on my own. I was already like, yeah.
I think my dad tried to trick us because he always gave us the ass, You know, that last quarter.
Oh, the beer monkeys
The
floating in
backwash.
Well, yeah, they call it the ass of the beer. You know, like
Mhm.
it's like warm.
Yeah.
You know, and the carbonation's down. You're like, can I try it too? You're like, I don't see what you like about this. You know,
Well, you know what? My
What you
dad
like
and his
about this?
friends, they would put their cigarettes out in the beer. So like I just thought like, oh, this is cool. There's a
That
little
sounds
bit
like
of beer.
menudo.
Yeah, you're like shaking it.
Oh.
There's a little beer here. You're
that's the worm. That's the worm of the beer tequila. You know, it's like a tequila worm.
Oh, no, you're ruining the show. You're ruining the show.
Hey, Aaron, someone posted in the chat that they're worried about getting their omnibuses. Trust me, you're going to get it.
Yeah,
We've
I
got
saw
over
that.
3,000 subscribers. A lot of people ordered multiple books. We've gotten over 2,300 of them out, or 2,400 of, or maybe 2,500 of them out. They're all coming, guys. You're all getting them.
Yeah,
So-
just be patient, guys. It takes time to ship
Well,
that
you know,
stuff
yeah,
out,
we
especially
can
in
fill
big
it
numbers.
for-
Mom and pop. It's not Amazon.
Yeah, we
Right,
can fill it
and
for
like I
free.
say, like I
So,
say, someone's going to be first to get it, and someone's going to be last to get it. Unfortunately, so just hang in there, guys.
yeah.
you'll get. I promise you, you'll get it.
Oh,
And
geez.
they
All right,
don't always
dudes.
go low numbers to high numbers either. You know, sometimes like when you put these things together, just to make it easier, you go, this is all these type of orders. These are
Right.
all the book plus the art ash can or whatever. And so then you put all those together. So it doesn't go from like order 1 to order 1,000. So if you have those early numbers, you still could be later in the shipping.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right.
we filled all the single orders first, and then we went to the for the multiple ones, like with the ash can, then with the gallery book, and then we've gotten a lot of backers. Have you guys noticed this? That once you start fulfilling, you get another jump in orders.
Yeah.
Now people want their books, and someone's like, "I ordered my book on January 15th.
Right.
Where is it?" And we're like, "It's coming." But we got
coming,
like
it's coming.
2,000 people before you.
Well, anyway, gentlemen, before we get off on another track here, let's wrap this delicious foodie show up. This was fun. This was fun to kind of go in a different direction, talk about something totally different than what we normally talk about, food, and talk about, we did Graham's show last week, which was about happiness and joy. Talking about food gives me happiness and joy. So this was fun. And I want to say though, before we head out, that everybody on here has a campaign in some form of completion or getting there or in demand or still live. Every one of those links is in the description of this video down there. So if you have not backed, say, My Wraith of God, Billy's She Omnibus, Fraga Boom's A Black Flag Pineapple Perception, Art's Black and White Volume 2 Man versus Machine, or Andy's First Man Volume 2 Learning Curve, and Graham's Manly Tales, they're all links in there. So please go check out those campaigns and see if there's something there that might interest you and you can get involved in.
May I add?
Yes.
I'm the interrupter of today's episode. Hello. Every one of us, including this channel you're on, has a YouTube channel.
True enough.
That is worth following. We all cover our Venn diagram covers a lot in the middle, but we all have our separate opinions and focuses. So if you'd like to hit subscribe on all of our channels, that would be great. And it's also if this is like a collect them all sort of situation, when you do that, the show rotates in alphabetical order. And as you go along in alphabetical order, you're going to get a different host each time. So you're going to want to subscribe to all of us.
There you go. That's absolutely true.
Absolutely.
And I'll plug my show with Shelley Sunday at 5 p.m. We're going to have David Williams and probably Gabe on as well to talk about their new book that's launching Monday morning. So that'll be fun times.
So wait, who is Gabe on?
Gabe on. Oh,
It sounded like you said Gabe on.
Gabe on.
It's
Gabe
like Leave
on, baby.
It's like the song from Elton John, Leave On.
That's right. Gabe on. He's my brother.
Aaron, if I can real quick, Donut 6 is, but my book was a single order. I'll ask Deb about that. Send her a message. But I got to tell you, we work with CrowdOx. A lot of our Indiegogo backers, because they already filled out a survey, are refusing. Maybe 200 of them are refusing to fill out the CrowdOx survey, and that's fine. You don't have to, but you're going to get your books last because CrowdX puts all our orders together for us. So we fill those first, and then we'll get to all the ones afterwards. So if you want your books fast, fill out that CrowdX survey that comes with your order. CrowdX is the one that sends you the survey. Fill it out. Again, we've gotten a lot of emails or messages from people like, well, I already filled out a survey on Indiegogo. I'm not filling out another survey. Okay, that's fine. But you guys, you're going to have to wait because we fill all the CrowdX orders first.
And I will say this, everybody on this show is, and I can vouch for these guys, is the highest integrity. And so if you have a problem with your order, you don't get it, you don't get the right thing or something like that, contact us and we'll make it right. I mean, don't contact me about Billy's book. Contact Billy, obviously, about Billy's book. But we will make it right.
But
so,
you can contact
I
Aaron if you have a problem with my book.
All right. And with that note, we're going to head out of here. I want to thank again the chat for joining us and all the super chats. That was wonderful, you guys. Love talking food with you. All my bros, thank you so much. I think next week, Andy, you're hosting.
I am.
There you go. So look forward to next week's Brofessionals on Thursday night on Andy's channel. Yeah. So until we meet again, everyone, thank you. Good night and enjoy the rest of your week and the upcoming weekend.
Bye.
Arrivederci.